Oh, so close to where you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard.
Oh, so close to where you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the World New Year's Eve Party Edition. I'm your host, PK, Blvd Bully. And as always, you can super chat your way to redirect the conversation, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I think those are all of them.
That's about it.
That is about it. And as always, you can find your merch on boulevardbullies.bigcartel.com. All Christmas designs, all 2 of them, on deep discount this week. I think that covers all the bases. I'm joined by my co-hosts, my co-bullies. Bad Take Bry, the merch guy, and ringside Sean.
What's going on, Daddy-Os?
What's going on, dudes? Cheers, everybody.
Merry late Christmas.
Merry late Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. The last day was yesterday, right?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Now, Brian, I see that you chose to go the Stone Cold route and just put a tie around your neck.
Right. Classic. Easy.
I like that. That's a good look for you.
Sean
wore the jacket. Sean wore the jacket, looking good. And
I heard get ready, so I got ready.
Yeah, get ready. We're doing fancy.
Fancy dancing.
You look like you just watched A Christmas Story, Patrick, with that hat.
Yo, I look like the kid from the Christmas Story. I feel like I've heard that my whole life. I've heard that my whole life.
You look like the bully. You look like the bully from Christmas Story. No pun intended.
In all fairness, I'm glad that we're going to start off by talking about this. I feel like I got a lot of pent-up frustration, some inner heat about this because, everybody always said, hey, you look like the bully from the Christmas Story. So I've been afraid to wear hats like this. And I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to let those preconceived notions stifle my fashion on my head any longer. And then I forget about it, and then 6 months pass, or around Christmas, somebody always tweets me, always tags me, never fail. You look like the bully from A Christmas Story. Pat Kenny, is that you? Shut up.
Do either of you know the name of the bully?
Is it
Snapple fact. Come on, Sean. You're usually good with these little weird history facts.
Is it Sacamano?
Bob Sacamano. He used to sell hats down by Battery Park City.
Oh, okay. I took a stab in the dark there.
Bob Sacamano.
It's Scott Farkas. Scott Farkas.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a bully's name.
Scott Farkas.
Oh, Doyle rules. Well, anyway, in my own defense, I'm not a full ginger because I do have a brownish, more of a brownish tint to my hair. And the real gingers, they have the red eyelashes. You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, the red eyelashes, like the South Park.
Like Seamus.
Yeah, Seamus looks like the fucking bully from A Christmas Story. Screw you. Screw you, man. So today we're going to do year-end awards.
Okay.
So if you are in the chat, you have a year-end award category that you want to throw out there. We take any and all comers. Brian, we have the Brian Ginsberg Award coming up, which is for 2022's Best Jew. That's going to be on tap. We also have, the Mandy Rose Award for Most Scandalous Moment. Scandalous. Red hot. And then I think we're just going to go off of the Wrestling Observer Awards. I have them pulled up.
Okay.
Yes.
We got confused, though, because Brian showed me the link, and I clicked on it, and I'm searching for 2022 Wrestler Observer Year-End Awards.
Well, the year didn't end yet, technically, so they couldn't release it. There's still a good 4 more days.
Right. So we basically determined that the 2022 list is from 2021 because it gets published in February.
Right.
Because you know how many readers the Wrestling Observer has? Hundreds. Literally hundreds. So all those fans are voting on these awards. And, they have to compile these possibly hundreds of votes. And they hand count them over there at Wrestling.
Hand count ballots.
Wrestling Observer. Sean, have you seen that photo of Dave Meltzer in his horribly
his
messy office?
room?
Those are all voting ballots. Those are all Wrestling Observer end-of-year voting ballots. So, you can understand that it takes them some time. So It's like Tournament of Death. Tournament of Death 16, 2015. Wrestling Observer 2023 awards for 2022. We here at the Blvd Bullies, we're not going to lie to you like that. We are going to give our awards days early on this show.
We're giving the 2022 awards in 2022.
Yeah, like it should be done. And you know what? We're probably going to miss one, if not the best match of the year, because we're doing our awards tonight. And on Friday, John Cena is making his return to the ring in a match that I am highly anticipating.
Yep.
That's why they wait.
Nice little tag team match.
We do what we do.
So we're going to do year-end awards, and as always, we're going to talk about the AE dub, the dub-dub-E, and everything in between. And I want to start with you, Brian, and the H2O. They won the 2022 award for events that are named in a way that represents none of the physical appearance of their wrestlers. H2O shredded.
It was a good show, man.
It was a good show. I have two things that I saw. I saw the Jimmy Lyons call out, and I saw the Matt Tremont, but no rope. Well, I saw not any clips, just a photo of him.
Okay. So what was his call out?
Are you asking me or Pat?
Brian, I want you to feel.
Oh, I watched it. Well, apparently, Cass did like a no call, no show. So Jimmy Lyon just like went in on him.
Ooh.
And it was kind of enjoyable.
You know, my only regret is that I watched the clip you sent me. I wish it was somebody a little bit more, how would you call it? Human than Jimmy Lyon.
I love Chondo, dude.
Yeah. I wish there was somebody more clothed on their feet than Jimmy Lyon.
His little bare glass feet.
Ooh, that'll get you.
At least he started taping them.
That definitely got to help.
But like, what is the next day like? You it's not like you can like not use your hands. Like you could sit down, take a day, and guess what? I'm not using my hands. You got to use the bathroom. You're walking on your feet.
He's not the only one to ever go barefoot. But Necro Butcher was he the first deathmatch man to do a barefoot?
He's the first that I ever witnessed.
Say so. Yeah, I'd say so. Mm-hmm. But like, it's like even so. We're in a day and age where you don't have to be barefoot. There are shoes that look as if you're barefoot.
It's a shock value. It adds. I mean, I appreciate it.
Oh, the shock value is the very next day.
Right. You see, I feel like with any kind of small cut, the key would be you got to get in the shower immediately while the adrenaline is still rushing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because home that night shower is going to be like Hellraiser. On Earth, all over your body.
Do they have showers backstage
at H2O? No.
There's no.
At a lot of these places, it's you have to wait until you get home.
You could do garden hose though. There's probably garden hose that I would get sprayed with. Seriously.
But it's like in this weather.
Well, right. You couldn't.
I mean, as long as the adrenaline is rushing.
Did you ever see the movie The Pianist?
What are you talking about, Brian?
The Pianist? I'm sorry, I said The Pianist.
No, the Pianist. Yes, the World War II movie where the guy's stuck in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah, but they spray him with the water outside, and he turns into a fucking cube of ice.
Well, that's what they were doing that to all of them. That's right. That's major punishment back in the day.
That would be fucking Tremont if they sprayed him with a hose yesterday.
Dude, yesterday he was pretty bloody.
Oh.
That was the most bloody I've seen him.
Did he do the bloody cards that night?
He did do the bloody cards. The cards are done.
What is the process? The process is that before the event, he signs all the cards, and then at the end, he just slap each one of them on his head.
It's a fingerprint. He sticks his fingerprint.
I'll be honest. Some of the cards look as if he.
They're a little smudgy.
There's glass. No, it's not that they're smudgy. It's just like there was a lot of glass used. So you would assume that if he had all that glass bounced off his head, there's still some shards all around. And guess what? They're on the card.
Dude.
Yeah,
that card is legendary in itself just because now that blood is from his fucking final.
It is the very first ever blood card that is actual blood. I'm looking at it as an outsider in. This is very big for like merch and collectibles in the deathmatch world, and we're really not going to see its worth till much later on down the line because this is something I feel like you see in Japan, not really here in the U.S. So that was pretty cool to see.
It's good. I agree. I think that's going to be a hit.
Yeah, most certainly are. That night, I seen them. It's not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that much. It's real blood. It's like, oh, whoa, and there's glass. I'm like, is that glass? And it's like, yeah, it looks
And
like
the glass actually stuck to it too.
the glass is stuck to the
That's
card.
fucking sick, dude.
Yeah. So whoever pre-ordered, they got their money's worth, and they'll be very happy when they get them.
It's just
Cheers.
bothering me that my camera's from 2004. That's something I want to do in the new year. I'm gonna got to get the camera repaired, and I think I'm gonna do a whole new screen for when we have guests on.
I think so too. Isn't AEW doing like a whole new approach?
Revamp.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a full revamp. Tony Khan came out on Wednesday and said that it's going to be a whole new look starting in the new year. Because I guess they hired that one producer from WWE, like I forget his name. I had it written down last week and I never got to it. But
just to do some feng shui.
well, it's a guy. It's like a 20-year guy. Apparently, it's like a pretty good guy.
The WWE guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a big acquisition for them.
So Brian, tell me more about this shredded event.
Oh, you know who else wrestled for the first time? Louis' son, Louis Jr.
Louis
He
Jr.
looks
wrestled.
just like his dad, dude.
Louis
The
Jr.
bald-
wrestled.
The
I
bald
would
head.
say it was a little underwhelming. He after the match, Low Life Louis told him that he has to lose weight and get into shape.
Makes sense.
But it was dope to see him finally in the ring after seeing him in the crowd for like so long, you know.
So did you take it as his dad is obviously coaching him to the top type of thing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
now we got to get you into shape, kid.
Yeah, his dad's yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
I would like to see him see his progress. Yeah. I'm stoked.
I still
He won the match. They won the match. Him and his son.
That's dope, man. It's always cool to see a father and son not take on each other in a match, but actually tag team.
Tag team, yeah.
You've seen
I agree.
Chavo and Chavo Classic back on SmackDown back in the days. You got Ricky Morton and his son doing it now. So it's
Dom and Mysterio.
Dom and Ray are working a crazy program right now, which we'll get into later. But it's always cool to see a father and son take on the legacy in pro wrestling like that. So that's pretty dope.
Cool as fuck.
Yeah, who do they wrestle?
Oh, fucking.
Just two jobbers, huh?
I'm trying to remember.
You know who was in the building? I saw a photo. Homicide, friend of the Bullies, was on.
Homicide's been all over the place, dude.
Yeah, he was at the H2O Center last night in attendance, probably because, he loves Louis. They're dear friends. And it was his son's first match, so,
Maybe he's training Louis Jr.
Louis Jr. Hey, what did a new segment alert? What did Mittens do to piss us off this week? I haven't
Did he
been
piss you off this week?
No, actually, I don't have anything. I was just wondering if Mittens did anything to piss me off at the show last night.
No.
No, I can't even remember him getting involved. Danny DeMonto wrestled, was it Colby Carino?
He wrestled Marcus Mathers.
Marcus Mathers, right. But I don't think there was a Mittens involvement.
No, Mittens was just hanging out.
Nice.
Mittens was there for support. Mittens actually helped the guys with the PWJ card signing because I was in the garden with my son and Rose. And
He just needs to help. He just needs something to do to
He's a
help.
fucking helper, man.
He's just
Mittens
a helper.
was like, yo, you know what? I got you guys. And he held it down. So thank you, man.
What exactly was his responsibility? What was this help?
So the cards that were full of blood needed to dry properly. So Mittens was moving them into an area that was free of
Sanitary.
free of debris, and not only free of debris, but free of people. So he was making sure nobody was standing next to them, standing guard, and I guess exiting people out of the building.
This fucking kid.
It's an important job.
He just can't help to not help.
He's just the guy, man. He's just that guy now. It's
Fucking
wild.
Kid.
Gotta love the Mittens.
Makes me sick. Anything else of note at the H2O things that our wrestlers aren't? Shredded show?
Oh, well, yeah. One called Manders and Ryan Redfield became the tag champions.
So Manders is a double champion.
He's the H2O champion and a tag champion.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
And I think after the match, he cut like a heel promo. Everyone was like booing him.
I want to see Manders wrestle more in like New York. Like Manders is actually really good. Manders is really good, and so is Mance Warner from SGT.
Oh, I love
Oh
Mance.
yeah, man.
I like to see them bounce around New York and like really like hold it down because like I feel like there's really nobody. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really feel like there's nobody out here that's really like ringing any bells out here. Like you have your legends like Homicide and whatnot, but like let's bring the New York, New Jersey wrestling scene back up there. Those are two guys I like to see mix it up a bit.
You know, Manders, I think was like trained at Black and Brave.
With Rollins?
Yeah, I think Manders has like really good training, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'd like to see him in New York. Hey, speaking of New York and who can and can never wrestle here again, Serpentico, Angelico, and freaking Luther, never going to be feeling okay to wrestle in New York. Never going to get booked in New York on the Indies ever again.
Yeah, dude.
That was announced project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't do
Who does that, man?
You know,
especially after like Tony Khan boasts all the time that he loves wrestling. He's into all the fucking shit.
You're not gonna say you don't know who the SAT are. You're not gonna say that you don't know that the SAT are back. You're not gonna say that you don't know that the SAT are back on the scene, taking bookings and wrestling and calling out tag teams' hottest names right now. You can't do that.
Is it possible that it's a work and they're bringing in the SAT?
In their case, I hope it's a work because I don't think Joel Maximo will let up with this because it's not right. You don't do that. Like, you know who the SAT are.
Yeah.
The Spanish announced project, and it's literally the exact same thing that they would do.
It's the same thing.
Like, are you like, hello?
You know what's crazy too? I think this is kind of an old story. This happened, I guess we could have covered it last week, but I don't know. It's weird. I guess I'm desensitized. I just saw the clips. And then I saw like the tweets from the Maximos, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." Kind of just like moved on with my life. But then this week, Jim Cornette spent like 10 minutes on it, and they were playing audio bites and sound clips, and I a switch went off in my mind. I was like, "Oh my god, this is a big deal."
Yeah, because
this is a big deal.
It shows lack of creativity. It shows a lack of, I guess, brotherhood. Because in wrestling, like we're all like. If you want to be honest about it, you'll look out for each other. And if you want to like put your newest upcoming tag teams up against the best tag teams from the past to help elevate your tag teams, you grab the SAT.
Right.
You don't.
Well, lack of awareness too. Like maybe they don't have their finger on the pulse as much. Yeah, it's weird. Like
no, dude, that's too close to the pulse to not know what they're fucking doing.
And you know what makes me agree with you on that, Brian, is the fact that Prince Nana is like. Shout out to him, but like he's back in like the limelight. Like
but you can't.
The light right now.
You can't
so
expect
like, you're not
him.
Gonna tell me you're not watching what's going on outside.
Yo, but what are you gonna do if you're Prince Nana and you just like kind of got solidified as a person with a role there? What are you gonna go up to Tony Khan? You're gonna pull it on his sleeve and be like, "Oh, excuse me, Tony,
no.
can't do that."
I'm not saying like
you can't really expect the guys to like. Well, you know,
what I'm saying is how don't you
intervene?
Know? Yes.
Right. Well, and also, like, you know, forget about, Prince Nana, but, one of the Maximo guys was on Twitter. He was saying, oh, we wrestled with Christopher Daniels. We've wrestled and worked on the same shows as, Sanjay Dutt.
That's Joel.
What the hell are you doing?
Whoa. Funny you may ask, Pat. I'm living here with my, my new cooler. And it's full of some awesome beers. It's an Igloo cooler. Shout out to you, Igloo, and keep creating these great coolers. Maybe you could get a Blvd Bully one.
Igloo. Woo. Thank you, Igloo.
Keeping my PBRs nice and cold.
Thank you, PBR. Thanks. Igloo, PBR. We need a new camera. We need a new camera desperately. Please. Yeah, so, and then I started thinking, holy shit, SAT is on the January 13th Outlaw show.
Yep.
And they love me. I'm like their little tchotchke son, you know? I'm like an honorary monkey, and they love me. And, not only are they going to be in New York, they're going to be in New York for Outlaw, and all this stuff is swirling about. I get to give them, I get to do the fuck you intro. I get to do I'm going to go up to them and like, yo, let's do a fuck you intro. Let's really get after it. Like I'll say a thing or two.
That might go viral.
It is gonna go viral, and that's the thing though. It goes back to what I was saying. They watch everything.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm going to cut you off. The thing is, it's not like they're just 20-year vets who are retired and still hanging around. They're hitting it hard again. That's what I was thinking before. It's not like
it looks like they've never left.
Right, exactly.
You know, not that it's wild,
and they
but
go
it's just like.
And they go about things like the right way too. Like they're really like nice guys. They really want to like put over young talent. Like they really are like, like three of the highlights of like wrestling in New York City.
Literally the fathers of the style of today.
Yeah.
And when you go out there and you pay your money for these indie shows in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Ridgefield Park, guess what? A lot of those guys that are doing those moves watch the SAT. Watch people who learn from the SAT.
Well,
You're not going to tell me the what's that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you're not going to tell me that the SAP is the SAT.
SAP.
Two different things. It's not. It can't work.
I love listening to James because, the Maximo said it's like, hey, we didn't bug out or cause a big stir when everyone started doing Spanish flies. We let that go. And fucking James E. Cornette was like, oh, yeah, that's true. The SAT did invent the Spanish fly. Totally confirmed it. Not even a question. And it's like, on your show, they use all our moves. Tower of Doom, Canadian Destroyer, Spanish Fly. And we never say anything, and we don't care, and we're just trying to help and give. And it's just blatant disrespect. So I started listening to all this. I was like, wow, this is a really big deal. So I wanted to talk about it.
It's big, bro. It's like when you see the community that you help build do it is one thing. And it's like, wow, what I'm giving back is actually being used. Great. But when you see somebody who has and they're capitalizing when you don't have, that's not cool.
And especially just three fucking jobbers. So even if there was like a match, like that's still disrespecting them. It's like if you want to put SAT on your program and you want to get them some like screen time, and you should because, you've done it for basically everybody else on the indies. You gave Warhorse a fucking match. You gave everybody a match. So like if you're going to do an SAT match, that makes sense. They should challenge for the trios. They should have been in the $300,000 Kings random. What's the name of this? Hold on, I have this written down.
You did it so good.
It's because I was reading.
Ransom.
Hold on, I got this. This is my favorite. This is by far match name of the decade. The $300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royal.
The fact that they use Three Kings is hilarious, and they have Puerto Ricans in the back.
Yo, and you know what the crazy thing? I was like, oh, okay. It's like I just knew from watching AEW, oh, okay, they're going to do a threesome battle royal. And I just assumed, like, oh, it's probably to see who the number one contender is going to be for the trios. No, it's just for money. $300,000 Kings. Hold on, let me do it again. By the way, Igloo cooler makers, if you want your advertisements read with this kind of zest and gusto, just go ahead and fucking send us an email. The $300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royal.
Poor person who had to recite that a few times.
Dude.
They're going to say it so many times that night.
Yeah.
When is it? Is it this Wednesday, that match?
No, they already did it. Brian, if you had to guess, if you had to just close your eyes and guess who won the $300,000 Three Kings Casino Trios Battle Royal, who would it be?
Best Friends.
Ooh, good guess. Sean, do you have a guess?
Ethan Page.
Well, it has to be a trio.
It's a trio.
Oh, a trio. I'm sorry. Wow.
Ethan Page was not on the team. I'll tell you that. It wasn't Ethan Page, Big Bob, and fucking Moriarty. It wasn't that.
Not the varsity club. What's this guy's name? Ziggler's brother, Ryan Nemeth. God,
you guys.
I had a good guess.
Yeah,
you said good guess to me.
Who was it?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that you didn't guess House of Black, Brian.
Did they win?
No, they didn't. They
I haven't even watched AEW to know they're back. Honestly, I'm.
Oh well,
completely
their House of Black is back. All right, and but the winners were Top Flight and AR Fox.
Wow, that's a very
$300,000, $100,000 for each of the three kings. Casino.
Does that make them number one contender, or they
No.
just get $300,000?
No, they're just $100,000 richer.
So now they're just going to walk around with a bag of money every time.
And it'll say the three kings, whatever winner when they come out.
I don't think. I mean, I would hope they don't come out with some kind of bag of money. I would just hope that they would deposit the money. But you know, that's like if you're going to even do an angle with SAT, that would make sense. Oh, three jobs.
Now they come out.
Right, and then they could have won the $100,000, you know, but that would have taken like months of focus and thought and, you know, like actually something. And yeah, and even if SAT does wind up coming in, it's like, to me, SAT is like, yo, we got to make this right. I don't really feel like SAT is looking for a match. I feel like it's more like, yo, you trademark this, disband this team. You know?
Change the name.
Change the name of this team. Because if Tony Khan fires back and goes...
If on Wednesday they come out to a different name, it would make me really excited.
That's exactly what should happen. There should be nothing said, that just the name changes. Because if Tony Khan gets in touch with the SAT, because I'm sure he's hearing it, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He knows. So he's like, hey, guys, I'm so sorry. Honestly, just slipped our mind. You know, we've been so busy. How about this? How about we bring you in and you do a match with them? Like, to me, Tony Khan saying I'm sorry by proposing a trios match with SAP is just as much of a slap in the face, because SAT is not SAP level talent. Like SAT should be in that fucking Three Kings. Hold on one second.
They should have won the Three Kings ransom.
They should have been in the $300,000 Three Kings Casino Trios Christmas Battle Royal. Yeah, and they are shout out Beer, Blood, and Body Slams. Yes, SAT are great dudes. And we love them. So, Sean, also, the other thing that was going on last night was the MSG house show, the WWE MSG house show.
That was?
It was very confusing for me. I didn't know if Raw was going to be on or if the Raw was going to be from MSG. But MSG, it was like a SmackDown house show.
Yeah.
And then where Raw was going to be was in Ohio, and they made that a Raw house show because I guess they were like, the boom cyclone, the bomb cyclone was in town.
Yep. So that was a way for them to not have the camera trucks and that big crew go out there, and they're semi trucks. It's the last thing you want on a highway when there's like a nor'easter about.
Yeah.
But the house show was cool. The house show was dope.
Shockingly understanding by the WWE that they said to their people, hey, you know what? We're not going to run TV on Monday. Just go home to your families. Just go to the house show. You know, let's make it a little bit easier on everyone. So shout out to them.
Yeah, word up, man.
I'm sure.
Listen, man, anytime somebody is outperforming during the holidays, shout out to them. Shout out to the Rockettes. Shout out to that big Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center. And shout out to the WWE for coming out and performing when everybody's home, snuggled, cuddled, warm, and there's snow about, and it's cold.
I was working.
It's cold.
It was chilly.
It was frigid this weekend.
It's cold, dude. It's cold. Like,
yeah, it was like 9 fucking degrees.
Like, the water outside my place is a frozen lake. Like, Mighty
Ducks. On it? Can you skate it?
Like Mighty Ducks skating, and it's like, yeah, there's people skating.
Quack.
There's literally people that go skate. That's kind of sick.
Quack.
Yeah, dude,
Quack.
with like the hockey net.
Quack.
And making me feel lazy because I'm like, wow, they're skating on ice, and I'm just here
The
doing
knuckler.
nothing.
You should go join him.
Knuckle.
Yeah, I'm like the guy driving the limo on the ice.
Oh, Bombay.
Bombay was not driving the limo.
Oh, he was in the back. He was in the
back seat. Yes, but
right.
Back to the house show at the Garden. There was a ladder match. Pat.
So they sold 9,000. I like looking this stuff up now. They sold 9,836 tickets with 2,016 tickets remaining. The stage was set. Madison Square Garden.
Is that low? Is that low, you would say, for that?
No. Last year's holiday show, I paid $7 and I was on the floor. $7. And again, this is during COVID time.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody's out.
Wrestling is back. Wrestling is back. The birthplace
Wrestling is alive and well.
The birthplace of Drunk Santa. If you guys watching have never seen the Drunk Santa saga from the early Bullies years, 2016, 2017, I highly, highly suggest treating yourself to a Christmas, post-Christmas by watching Drunk Santa Volumes 1 and 2. Are there 3? I'm not sure, but there's definitely 2.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but maybe one day, if. So tell me about this. There was a ladder match, you said.
There was a ladder match. It was Gunther, the champion, taking on Santos Escobar, taking on Kofi Kingston, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was supposed to be Ricochet, but Ricochet was injured last week during the tapings. He had about like 13 stitches going over the top of his bald head.
I saw that he pulled the Tremont.
Yes, he has Tremont scar tissue on the back of his head there, and he was replaced by Madcap Moss, who we haven't seen in quite some time.
Is he still going by that name?
Madcap, yeah, he was. He came
Still
out with
Madcap?
that very awkward 90s generic theme song. I was like, everybody's like, where's Ricochet? All the kids.
I don't know why they call him.
Ricochet!
Like, he should just be Riddick Moss. Like,
Just
what is
Moss.
this mad?
Just Moss.
Just even, I mean, Moss kind of sounds like a little dirty, you know, like tree moss.
Well, his wrestling's not the greatest.
At least he got rid of the suspenders.
Yeah, for sure. And a little hat and his Easter Sears picture outfit he got rid of. But it was cool to see a ladder match, not only in the Garden, but at a house show in the Garden, where we've been, I'm going to say, plagued with cage matches. We've been oversaturated with cage matches. Cage matches are something you usually get excited to see. But when it becomes something that you see way too much, it becomes something you expect. And when you expect, there is zero excitement. My reason in going to the Garden yesterday was not only is it something that I do with Jibby and Rose every year, but there was a ladder match. And it's not something that you see usually in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a ladder match, not only just a ladder match, but for the Intercontinental title that has prestigious history in the Garden, it was pretty cool. And Gunther left with his Intercontinental title. And I honestly thought if Ricochet was there, history would have been made. Ricochet would have left out the Garden with the Intercontinental Championship. But that didn't happen.
Was it last year that Andrade won the U.S. Championship?
Yes.
At MSG?
At MSG, he faced Mysterio, and he took the strap from him. And title changes at house shows in the Garden are an occurring thing. And we didn't get one last night, so that was kind of disappointing. But I hope
you can't do it every year because then, like you say, it would
it
not
becomes
make it
something
special.
you expect. Yeah, but
Right.
again, it doesn't have to happen at a holiday show. We had Kevin Owens and AJ Styles go at it at a SummerSlam
Right.
Heatwave tour
I
a few
remember
years
that.
back, and the title changed hands. Nobody was expecting it.
That was
Everybody's
the main title,
mid conversation with a beer in their hand. You hear 1, 2, 3. AJ's holding up gold, and you're like, "What just happened?" But you got to remember, you're in the Garden. You know what I'm saying? So I guess last night was Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden.
So
It was pretty cool.
the first ever Madison Square Garden post-holiday show was 1980. And I read something today that was like 34 out of the last 40 years they've run a holiday show there. And the first one, it was Bob Backlund retained. And then because I just thought of that, because we're talking about title changes at the Garden, the most famous one from our youth has to be Diesel. Beating Bob Backlund in 8 seconds.
Giving me chills, baby. I was there.
It was like, it's so much.
Didn't Mick Foley win the belt in the Garden? That was not a house show, though.
No.
That was a Raw.
That was Raw.
Right.
You know, that's before you would see it online. Fan footage wasn't really a thing that was prevalent and common. So it's like, and even the WWE footage of that happening looked like fan footage. You know, it's like
you can even go on Peacock and they have marquee classics, and those marquee classics are usually in the Garden. And you can even go back and watch stuff as late as '88 and as early as '97. And you can see a tag team matches, Austin and Taker taking on DX.
That's so
and
sick.
it's a regular camera from ringside, and it's like the ones that they switch to, mid match. And it's like, oh, we got him in submission. We have that camera, but that camera that's down low is for the whole match. So I don't know. There's something about the Garden. The Garden just holds such rich history in wrestling that it's
best ceiling.
It does. Oh my God, bro, I love it. If I could have that ceiling in my house, I'd have that ceiling. I swear. I'm not lying to you. If I have $1 million to have somebody come paint the Garden ceiling on my ceiling, I'll pay him whatever he wants. It's just it's a cool place. It has
The
so much history.
ambiance.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've been going there since I can remember, '94, maybe even earlier.
I wish they would do a WrestleMania there again, but they would never do it because they would just not make enough. Like they would make so much more money doing it in a fucking football stadium.
I don't think it's because of that. I think more so it's anything being broadcasted live from New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, wherever you want. It's very expensive.
Yeah, but I mean,
Very
they lose so much. They would lose money doing it at an MSG compared to a giant stadium.
Right, because you're talking
No,
like
you gotta
19,000 versus like 80,000.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
thinking of the gate, then yes. But then long term, you have to think of things that sell from that event that are going to put you in way over what you
Right.
paid for that venue. But again, it's just a Garden. It sucks. They've changed. Have you seen the outside of it? It's all changed now. It looks completely different.
I'm actually going there tomorrow to see Fish.
Oh, the good old fishy.
Yeah, the little trippy trip, you know.
Very nice.
Oh, little
It's pretty
trippy
dope.
jerk.
I actually walked through Penn Station not too long ago, and it's unrecognizable. It's like they're
That's what I'm
trying to
saying.
turn
It's
Penn
wild.
State, you know. Yeah, it's like, and dude, you know, Penn Station wasn't that great back when I was there every day, but it was still like its own cool thing. You know, you could go to Starbucks. They had a little bookstore in there. You know, Hudson Newsstand or whatever. Now it's just like it looks like a mall that's under construction. You know, they have those like panels up. So I
It's
can
like
only
modern as fuck.
yeah, I can only imagine what they're gonna do to the Garden. You know, they're gonna keep the ceiling though. I guarantee you that.
Oh, they better. I'd lose it if they did.
So Brian, did you know that Bray Wyatt came back as well?
I did. I saw it.
Sean was in the building for Bray Wyatt. Are you jealous?
I am quite jealous.
I made sure
It
to send him
seemed-
pictures.
It honestly seemed like it was awesome. Like he did. I
He
saw
was
the
very
Brody-
emotional. It looked like
Dude, he did the whole Brody tribute.
he was very emotional.
The Brody taunt. He did the taunt.
He was very emotional.
When
throughout
is he
the
not
entire match.
emotional? When is he not emotional?
I think it was more yesterday because it was this guy's anniversary of his death.
It was literally Brody Lee's death yesterday.
Yeah,
His
you know
2-3 year anniversary.
the thing about
And he got it's the
sports,
first time he wrestled in fucking how long?
right? And it's at the Garden, hollowed halls.
Very emotional moment.
Yo,
Yeah.
there is a thing about sports, whether it's sports or wrestling. There's something about like places, dates, context
Yep.
that makes like moments huge. You know?
It just matters so much more.
And you know, like venue plays a big role. You know, like anniversary of something plays a big role. You know, and that's basically the whole thing about wrestling. It's like they try to recreate those real sports type moments.
Yeah, it's all about moments.
Speaking of real sports, guess who's in the fantasy football Super Bowl? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. We did it, fam. We did it. And guess who I'm going up against in the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Fucking Bald Steve.
Battle of the Bullies. Battle of the Bullies.
It's the
dude.
Bullies Bowl 2022 going down. So I just want to
Pat,
quick.
How do you feel, Pat? Like I remember
Let me tell you
when
something.
you started, and you were just like, I don't know what's going on. Ooh. And now, Pat, you are in the Super Bowl.
I'm in the
my
Super Bowl.
friend.
And you know what? I
What
haven't
has
even.
got you here?
I'm going to Disney World. But basically, you know, I didn't even think about the money. This whole time, I haven't thought about the money. I've just been thinking about glory. And let me tell you something. Now, I am guaranteed to come out of this season with a profit. And if I beat Bald Steve, who, you know, listen, much respect to the bald one. But, you know, he got lucky with a few draft picks. He's rode those draft picks the whole season. I have had to mix and match and research and master. Figure out the guy who's with the good legs, who were playing the guys with the bad arms. You know? Steve hasn't done that. So, you know, if I put Steve in the ground, which I fully intend to do with extreme prejudice this weekend, you know, then I win like big money. So just shout out to me. Shout out to all the players. You know, I appreciate you guys. One love.
Wait, the fantasy football doesn't go to February? It goes till the Super Bowl, right?
It goes to
Well,
the
he's
last.
playing the regular season.
Yeah.
Oh,
it ends,
that makes sense.
It ends at the second to last game of the season because on the last game of the season, a lot of teams rest their guys. So it's
a
kind of
whole
like
group-
not
group
fair.
of guy-
Even
right.
even this week's a little hairy too. Second to last week, some guys might be rested, something. So we'll see what happens. You know, we got to keep our ear to the ground, fucking nose to the grindstone, shoulder
Pat.
to the tackle dummy, and just
You
fucking
got
keep
this,
researching.
dude.
Just keep
You got
researching.
this.
We got it. We got it.
Ears to the ground, boys.
Yo, so Sean, tell me about this Bray Wyatt return. One thing I didn't like is that he
What?
wore his knee brace outside of his jeans.
Yeah.
I thought that was an egregious error. And if Brody Lee and fucking Madison Square Garden means so much to you, put the goddamn knee brace on before you put on your skinny jeans. That was a
But
problem.
then your skinny jeans won't go on, bro.
Well, yeah, that's the
yeah.
problem. He has to wear his
There's so much flex that those jeans can have.
Yeah, he has to wear his Orange Cassidy skin-tight joggers now because God forbid he wears like anything else. God forbid he wears something that he can put his goddamn knee brace underneath. So tacky, dude. Go on, Sean. The floor is yours. I apologize.
So Jinder comes out, Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion. He comes out with his legs taped up like he's Triple H in 08. And
I love me some Jinder, man.
Jinder's cool. Jinder's dope. I like Jinder. I wish they use him in a better capacity, like a
Dude, his championship run was awesome.
And you know
Like
that
I
is
love
that
like
is
a
like a
Tiger Ali
likely
thing.
because didn't they during his run right around the time of Ginger's run, him and Bray Wyatt like wrestled a lot, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yep.
that is a likely and kind of smart person for him to come back and wrestle.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm
someone that
sorry.
he's comfortable with, worked house shows with at the time.
Right.
Because at that time, that was 2017, SmackDown Tag Champions with Randy. Bray was good.
Yep.
He wasn't in the ring all the time. He wasn't tiring himself out. Let's face it, he's a big guy. So when he came out yesterday, he was challenged by Jinder. It didn't look like the Bray that we know.
Wait, hold
Right.
on, Sean. Can I stop you right there? Did Jinder make an open challenge, or did
An
Jinder?
open
Oh,
challenge.
okay. I was
It was an
wondering,
open
did he
challenge.
just call out Bray Wyatt, or it was
No.
just he was just like,
It wa-
I'll beat anybody in the back right here at Madison Square Garden.
Yep, it was one of those normal call-outs, Garden House show, and Bray was, he was the main guy that was drilled for this event. When you look at the posters and stuff like that, if fans out there, if you're watching and you don't live in New York or the tri-state area, these events, when they're broadcasted or televised for, to buy a ticket, they show you who's on the card, and the main person they showed was Bray Wyatt.
So Bray Wyatt was promoted then.
Oh,
It wasn't-
heavily advertised. Heavily
Huh.
advertised.
So if you were a fan, like, did you think you were going to see him wrestle, Sean, when going into it?
Yeah, for sure. I honestly thought it was going to be a Uncle Howdy situation where they wanted
Jesus
to see.
Christ.
Well, you have to think about it, Pat. They're in the garden, and when you're in the garden and it's a house show, you test things out because if anybody's going to react a certain way, it's the fans in New York, right?
Right.
So my mind is Royal Rumble's a few weeks away. WrestleMania is a few weeks after. So let's start teasing things. Let's start getting a taste of things so we know what to do moving forward. And what they did was they had Bray go out and they had him work a match. And I feel it was just to see how the crowd reacts to Bray. And it was a very embracing reaction to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's going out there and he's working as a heel. He's not working as a face, but he's going over as a face. Does that make sense?
Right.
Match, squash match. He beats Jinder. It's about a 2 to 5 minute match. 1, 2, 3. Ref goes to raise his hand. He seals the I'm a heel by get off of me. This is me. Right? The regular pose.
That's
you know
strange.
What I'm saying? So
That's a little strange.
He shakes off the ref. He embraces the crowd. He does the Brody Lee. He gets out the ring and starts embracing children. So it throws you off.
Embracing children.
Well, he's like his character right now is supposed to be like a schizo. He's like a schizo. He has multiple personalities.
Yeah,
So
he's
if
an
it-
idiot.
So I guess if that's the case, then it worked. But then later on in the show, after intermission, don't mean to jump from the Bray situation, but
No,
this
it's
is
fine.
where I compare. This is where I compare the two. Karrion Kross is taking on Drew Gulak, who is now heavily advertising. What was this? Catch Point? Remember that?
Oh,
That's Kid Osborne.
Not
yeah.
Kid, but
Catch Point was with
not Kid, with Matt
who?
Riddle, Chris Dickinson, right?
and
Stokely Hathaway.
Tom Lawler.
And Tom Lawler. So he comes out, he hits the pose. I'm like, oh, okay. So Trips is really letting them just.
I
be
just think
yourself.
that they let Drew Gulak do whatever he wants when he wrestles because he helps out in the performance center. You know, I think his role is as more of a coach. So I think when Drew Gulak comes out, they let him do catch point. They let him do suit Drew. They let him do whatever he wants because it's just like, and you know what? I feel like that's a little Christmas bonus for Drew. You know,
Oh,
hey,
of course.
hey, thanks for training Logan Paul how to wrestle. You want to wrestle in the garden? You know, like I feel like it's one of those type of things, which is nice. That's nice.
So what you said, Pat, exactly, which is what brings me to what I was about to say next. You have someone who's red hot to many, but not to others. Karrion Kross come out, and
I feel like I know what you're about to say. But yeah, okay.
He is one of those guys that was recently brought back from the releases we had from that whole COVID stuff, and the last real big match he had was with Drew McIntyre back in Saudi Arabia. They had a cage match. Wasn't really received well from others back home in the States, right? So now when he comes to the Garden, right? The Garden, you have diehard fans who do their history. They know their wrestling. They know where their wrestlers are from. So if you know where your wrestlers are from, then you know that Karrion Kross is a New York native from the Bronx, New York, and he's also Puerto Rican. New York City is predominantly Puerto Rican, very Spanish-based community when it comes to wrestling. When he stepped foot into that ring, it was a shoulder tackle, it was a headlock, it was the bridge, it was another shoulder tackle, it was another headlock. It was a very mat-based match, very catch can. Drew was calling the shots, and it threw me for a loop. Because if you have somebody like Karrion Kross who you're trying to put over, then you're going to have a squash match. Goes to show me that they don't have a lot of confidence. They're testing the waters just like Bray, and they don't know what to do.
Compared to Bray, Karrion Kross sucks.
But again, these are two people who are brought back to the company after being released. You know what I'm saying? Well, Bray wasn't really released. He just wasn't used.
Oh, he was released.
He was released.
Yeah, he was completely, and then his return just now is him coming back from release.
Well, whatever the case is, he was not used. He's been gone. This is just a testing phase, and I'll say this very lightly. They're not going over with the fans very well. Karrion then gets out of the ring after winning the match, and he hops the fence, and he goes and embraces his grandma. And he gives his grandma a nice big kiss on the cheek.
His grandmammy.
I'm assuming it's his grandma because it was an elderly person. And if it's not, it's his mom. I apologize, but
whoa, what if it's his wife, man?
Then who's the lady who's with him ringside? She got some fighting to do.
It's the woman who they suck the life energy out to give it to Scarlett Bordeaux to stay young. She's actually 95 years old.
So it throws you off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you have the schizo, as you said, Brian, and Bray Wyatt, who has the Uncle Howdy guy, then you want him to beeline it to the back without interacting with fans or saying thank you or signing autographs. Then you don't want your heel to jump the barricade and give his grandma a hug and
He's
say
a
thanks
fucking
for coming.
idiot. His grandma sucks.
I feel like that's like an old ideology. Is like kayfabe doesn't really exist anymore.
And you know what? It should.
Wrestlers are shaking hands after matches. They're hugging.
It should. And you know what? As a professional wrestler, there's a fine line you don't cross. And if that line is there and you see it, you don't cross it. No pun intended, Karrion. But you shouldn't have jumped the barricade to hug your family.
Oh my
member.
God,
I'm sorry.
But is wrestling not popular now? Can you directly relate the death of kayfabe to wrestling fans being turned off, or is it just like the only people who care are the ones who are us or older? You know,
I think
the internet killed kayfabe. So
I feel like the normal fan, the average fan at this point, likes when they want to tune in every single week to see a fourth wall breaking piece of content.
Yes,
just like fucking Jimmy Fallon is like the last hugely successful person from SNL because his only shtick was that he would wink at the camera. Like he wasn't actually funny at being funny and doing the script. Jimmy Fallon is like a walking blooper reel. So he would like laugh and crack, right? And whoop, right? And then like the fans just eat that up, right? So I feel like the average wrestling fan, day in and day out, they want 9 out of 10 of the wrestlers on the show that they watch to be winking at the camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's one guy that keeps it kayfabe. There's one or two guys that keep it kayfabe, and the rest like wink at the camera slightly. But then there's one or two guys that really do it, like that really break the fourth wall.
You saying that, Pat, like there's wrestlers that keep it. Brings me to Kevin Owens in our main event. Kevin Owens wasn't advertised for the main event. The main event later in the night was announced that it was Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman, right?
A singles match?
Singles match.
No,
okay?
weren't they a team though?
Well, it probably became a.
So later on, you know how they do. It's a house show. They carry it on. They keep everybody. It's a way to keep people engaged and away from leaving their seats and jumping onto the LIRR early, right? So they come out
where beers are cheaper.
Exactly. So Sammy says, "Guess what, guys? I was in Sean's neighborhood, the Lower East Side, walking around. And
I saw this. And
I took the D train.
Yo, D train. That's not an easy train to take.
34th Street. You know how cool it is to say this guy who's the hottest guy in the world said he was walking around your neighborhood? I was like, wow. You understand.
What was he doing? What was he doing?
You know, because the Lower East Side is just it's like the Garden.
Lower East Side is popping, dude.
It's a rich, famous neighborhood. Wherever you walk, you see something that was there from 60 years ago, and it's like, you know what? I appreciate that. He's that kind of guy. So Sami Zayn, thank you for touring my neighborhood. So he made his way down to the Garden, and he wasn't cleared for action. So what happened? He's standing at the rampway, and guess what? I got my brothers with me.
What?
The Usos.
Yeah, I saw this. This was awesome. I saw a fan cam of this, and it was great.
Yeah, so it was dope. So out come the Usos. Out come Solo Sikoa, who's hot as hell right now.
I love him, dude.
It's very quiet, and they're trying to keep it on the hush, and it's good, and I love it. But we'll touch base on that later. But so now they come out, and it's Braun Strowman in the ring with his Twizzler pants, and he's just standing there. And guess what? It's not me. It's Solo you're going up against. So it's like, wow, we got Umaga Jr. and this big guy here. So let's see what Umaga Jr., his first time in the Garden, is main eventing the Garden now. So let's see what he could do. So they put him up against him and test the strength. Big guys lock horns. Back up. Braun throws him off. He bumps. He gets up. They go back and forth for a little bit. In comes Jey Uso. Super kick. Now it's a disqualification. Match gets thrown out. Ding, 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 ding.
That's dope.
Ding, 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 ding. Right? Guess what? Here comes Kevin Owens running out full head of steam with his duct tape KO t-shirt, right? So he comes out and he challenges them. And it's like, you know what? How about a tag match? Me and Braun against you Usos.
How about a tag team match, playa?
Do you get an Adam Pearce?
No Adam Pearce. No Adam Pearce. So it became a tag team match.
That sounds awesome.
It was dope. It was cool. And it's like, you know what? This is what I paid to see. This.
Right, that's a good show.
Because now my energy's up. Now this is what I like. This is wrestling. Okay? So now it's a tag team match. And it's like, you got your longest reigning tag team champions in the ring, the Usos, who are just improving day after day and just getting better.
Yeah, they are so awesome, dude.
And they're taking on
really are.
A returning, I got a 9-pack in my ribs, Braun Strowman, and the hotter than ever since I faced Stone Cold, Kevin Owens. And it's like, you know what? This is the Garden. If you don't realize how cool this is right now, you're a douche.
You're a douche.
You're a douche.
Yo, the Usos are like everything that Swerve wishes he was.
Yes.
You know, because the Usos aren't really that hard, like as hard as they like walk and talk. You know, but they just like
they just got swag.
But like for so long they had like fake swag, but it's just they stuck at it for so long, and now they really are swaggy. You know,
they're oosy, baby.
They really are oosy as hell. Did you hear? I saw something where Sami Zayn said "Oosie in the sky with diamonds."
Yeah, he said that was
which is fucking incredible.
Like what?
That is awesome.
They're going at it. It's a tag team match now, and Usos are. Listen, let's face it. Usos are, along with Roman and Sammy, they're just hot right now. And when you're hot, you get tired. You get tired quick. It's the end of the year. You're just coming off of seeing family. You just flew into the city. You're not gonna be out. You're not gonna be out there busting your heart all crazy.
That went in a direction I wasn't expecting. You were like, when you're hot, you get tired. That just threw me for a loop.
But it's you think about it.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. We're an hour in. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Open up another Stone Cold Bryweiser.
I don't know if I agree with you, Sean. I feel like when you're hot, they get into a zone where they want to work as much as they possibly can.
Dude.
Because they know that that's it's like their moment.
Yeah, like I feel like in wrestling you see a lot of guys who think they're in the zone.
Ugh.
All right, hold on. 10 o'clock cough break. 9 o'clock cough break.
8 o'clock.
Sorry, I'm on Atlantic time. I feel like in wrestling you see a lot of guys who come out and think like they watched the Last Dance documentary and they think that they're in the Michael Jordan place. They think they're in the zone where they're doing like the best work of their life. And in wrestling you see a lot of guys who've talked themselves into that. But it's like you got to talk yourself into it and then get over the hump of it not happening. And I feel like that's what the Usos have done. So the Usos are legitimately like actually on fire. Like they're actually they're feeling themselves and like everyone is like responding.
Exactly.
But
so it's like,
and Sammy too. Kevin Owens to me is not there yet though. Kevin Owens hasn't been evolved long enough, but if they play it the right way and really stretch out this feud and this like storyline, I think that it could really become he could get there too.
I think they dropped the ball with KO, but I think with a ball,
well, he was hurt. He was hurt too.
I think it has a few bounces. A ball has a few bounces before it actually stops bouncing.
I feel like
an air pump. It might have an air pump.
And it's like, you know what? You just fought Austin. You did your thing. You had the main event at WrestleMania, and I'm gonna catch this ball before it rolls on down the street, and we're gonna try it again.
That is an absolutely horrible metaphor.
Dude, think about it.
That's terrible.
The ball.
Nope.
But think about it. He wrestled. He main evented WrestleMania with Austin. The very next Monday, he was in on TV.
Yeah, well, you need it. You get a break after that. You get a break after you wrestle.
No, you opened the show.
Yeah, you know why?
Austin, you opened the show.
You know why? Because Kevin Owens is like, he has Mittens' soul. You know, Kevin Owens is like Mittens.
Okay, so let me get to that.
He's
let me get to where I was
getting
to.
All right. Tell me Kevin Owens used Mittens as a battering ram.
No. So the match goes on, but it's like nobody in the arena is like, ooh, so let's go, bro. Nobody's doing anything at all.
Seemed quiet.
It was as if I was in
a dead crowd.
It was as if I was in a Kirkin Hall. It was quiet, right? Hot tag. In comes Owens. Place goes crazy. Roof blows off. Hits a stunner. Everybody goes crazy. Goes. Let me get the mic. Let me get the mic. Let me get the mic. Right? Thank you so much, everybody, for coming here. I know it's the holidays, and guess what? I know there are people out there who are going through things, and it's okay. I'm going through things. We're all going through things, and it's going to get better. I was like, wow, this guy's really trying to do his thing here.
Good for him.
And he did the WWE. We are a community. We are a people. And we are a one. So it's like, you know what? If there's anybody in the back at the end of the year who I feel deserves more recognition than a lot of the people that are signing that company, it's Kevin Owens.
Good for him.
The guy's there to work. He shows up and he puts on a show.
I'm thinking that him and Sammy are going to take the championships at WrestleMania.
It was dope.
Usos will drop them.
I just need a long and winding road to get there. I just want it to be.
It's been a lot, dude. I'm very happy that they've kept Sami Zayn this long with the bloodline. Like I've been so afraid that they were gonna just like.
Right. Yeah. That they were gonna pull the trigger too early. Yeah.
The fire with Sami Zayn has been burning since the whole Johnny Knoxville, Shinsuke Nakamura, you know what I'm saying? Cesaro stuff. He's been on fire.
I forgot about that. The conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah, bro. He's been on straight fire, and he burned them out. Like, you know what? I'm not personal, but guess what? I'm on a whole nother path than you, Shinsuke.
You know,
you can stay in your IC lane.
He reminds me a lot, and I know it might be a stretch for some, but he reminds me a lot of like a Mick Foley. You know, like Sami Zayn and like the appeal, like it almost reminds me. It has the charm of Pick Me Steve, you know, and then like the Dude Love, and like, you know how Mankind, when he went from deranged to like wearing the shirt and tie because he was screwed by the corporation.
Yep.
And he thought he was in the, and just that whole run. And the way that you love Mankind, I feel like, is the way that Sammy's gotten over. And that's very, very rare. Very, very rare in this time of our lives, you know? Like, and
because they're technically a heel group, and he's like a face within a heel group.
Yes.
Right. They had him open the show.
Right.
He's like the corporation Mankind. You remember when Mankind was showing up with his hair in a ponytail?
Right.
Or still with the mask?
Oh my God, that was the best.
Still that guy, but he's this guy now.
And then eventually they turned on him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
it gives me this. It's like kind of got the same kind of charm, same kind of magic. You know, he's kind of like a little bit disheveled. He's a little unorthodox. You know, and he's like too happy to be there. And you're watching. You're like, play it cool, Sammy. Like play it cool. And you're like rooting for him to get like accepted by the assholes. And yeah, and it's just fucking great. I think, you know, we'll get to the year-end awards, but to me, that's got to be like, everybody involved in the Bloodline, you could give any award to any of them that suits them. So, like, tag team could go to the Usos, top wrestler could go to Roman, it could go to Sammy even, rookie could go to Solo. Maybe you could even do, like, comeback wrestler of the year, Sammy. Because Sammy wasn't really doing anything or whatever.
But he was one that he's never had a release. He never got released and got brought back.
He's never been released. No.
Has he had a serious injury?
No. No, but he did take time off because of the wasn't it the whole like Syria thing?
Oh, I remember that.
All right, let's
get a lot of.
I don't want to botch these year-end awards. I want to spend plenty of time discussing and pontificating about the year-end. So let's go into Blvd Bullies Turbo Mode. And let me run through the headlines real quick. Lightning round, one sentence comments. We'll get to AEW. I like that too. We need more sound effects in the new year too. Yeah, like a news like
10-10 wins.
Yeah, like 10-10 wins. Okay, so this is and what I do to prepare for the news on the show is that I listen to the wrestling news and read it, and I pick out the headlines. This week, kind of slow, but here we go. And you know, I'm on this WWE India show. We're the only show out there. Shout out India. We're fucking promoting. We're caring about this India show. Well, guess what? It was postponed. It's canceled. It was postponed. They moved it to April. There's some kind of media conglomerate merger happening.
There's a big cricket game over there.
Yeah.
Big cricket game. What the fuck?
We said this last week. Sasha Banks moved to Japan, but nothing's been announced yet. New Japan hasn't announced anything yet. I think, Sean, you said it last week. I think they nail it. Either night 1 or night 2. It's a video challenge, and it's a match. Or they just finish the weekend with a match in place for the next thing. Yes, no,
sir.
Maybe? Brian?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be a match. I think she's going to do a match.
I would love to go to Japan and eat sushi off of a conveyor belt.
I've had that in 23rd Street and 2nd Avenue in the city.
I don't think they have conveyor belts.
Sean, what's your favorite sushi?
I'm very American basic, so I'm gonna say a shrimp tempura roll.
Ooh, shrimp tempura is still a nice classic.
That's not even sushi though, because that's cooked.
Well, it's still Japanese style shrimp rice.
I like that, but I don't like real sushi. Like
so, what do you have? Like a California roll?
No, I would eat a shrimp tempura or
a
cooked like they make lobster
There's
ones
no
that have like
shame in a shrimp tempura.
But that's not real sushi.
No, it's not technically real sushi. But
sushi's fucking fish.
You listen. When I say what's your favorite sushi, sashimi, sushi, and rolls and hand rolls all count into that equation. Brian, what's your favorite sushi?
My favorite sushi is like I don't know. It's like a rock and roll.
Oh, like the rock and roll, like the you like the.
It's like lobster. It's a lobster thing.
Oh, it's a lobster thing. That's not real sushi either.
I know
it's Americanized.
Right, that's what I like. Amanda likes fucking sashimi, like just like a piece of
Yeah,
fucking raw.
the real OGs, what you do is you put way too much wasabi in your soy sauce, like to the point that it's a spicy, hot paste. Then you take the raw fish, just dip it right in, eat the fish, and then you have rice on the side.
It's not the taste that I don't like as much as the consistency of the smushy mushiness.
Like salmon's a very popular fish, and I love a broiled salmon.
I love a cooked salmon.
Right.
I love,
but it's a little mushy. It's a little mushy,
but not as mushy and like it's mushy and chewy. It's like
we're trying to do the lightning round. All right, stop talking about the sushi. If you're in the chat, drop your favorite sushi. Mine, I think I'm gonna have to go classic, just tuna roll, seaweed on the outside. That's what I've been craving lately. But I do a bunch of stuff.
I'm telling you guys, we have to make a day, and I have to bring you to this all-you-can-eat sushi spot on First Avenue in the city. It's not too far, and we'll make a day of it.
That's with the conveyor belt.
No conveyor belt, but it's all you can eat.
Brian, did you watch Drew Parker versus Jun Kasai at Freedom's?
The Christmas show? No, I saw clips though.
How was that?
Oh, dude, those Jun Kasai, he was crying at the end of the match, and it's just like
because he was cut in a million different
orifices. I think he was crying out of emotion.
No, probably out of pain. Actually,
I think he loves it.
Probably out of pain.
I think that they're such amazing humans, and I love them so much.
I'm gonna have to side with Pat here. I think that was straight pain.
Yeah,
I don't think
he
so,
realized that he could have gone and graduated in high school.
There's no way that they even feel the pain in that moment. There's so much adrenaline that they're fucking feeling, dude, that they're not feeling that.
Brian.
Lacey Evans posted a thing. Brian, this probably hits close to home with you. Lacey Evans posted a thing bashing processed meat. Okay? So apparently Lacey Evans saw a video about how processed meat is very bad for you. So
hot dogs?
Well, the more processed, the more autism you get. If you eat the processed meats, ADD, autism. Lacey Evans came out. She said, "Hey, stop feeding our children processed meat. It's giving them autism." Watch watch this video.
How untrue is it, though?
I don't know. It doesn't.
What's the percentage of kids that have autism today compared to what they used to have?
You know what, Brian? And I think she should have said it the way you just did.
But that's what she's getting at, and I feel like most intelligent people would understand that.
You know what? I'm a lot more offended by if somebody came out and said something about flat Earth. I'd be like, "Oh, you're an idiot." But it's like,
ridiculous.
Okay,
shit.
hey, horrible foods are making our kids, have autism.
That's like facts to that. There's like Monsanto.
There's like it's
they put chemicals in our fucking food.
There's more of an argument, right? It's not so much of a radical thought to say, but apparently Sean Ross Sapp. Shout out.
Fightful.
Yeah, Fightful. Complete, absolute mark joke. Just basically said, just like, I guess he saw blood in the water and was bored this week and basically completely trashed and buried Lacey Evans for, having a belief. And I'm sure that, anybody who's of liberal thought is already very triggered by Lacey Evans because she was in the Marines. She wears American flag bikinis. Now she's coming out saying some stuff about kids getting autism from processed meat. This woman's outrageous. This woman is disgusting. You make me puke. Yeah. So apparently, then Lacey Evans was like, "Hey, I'm sorry," deleted the tweet, said, "Hey, I saw a video." Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that because shout out Lacey Evans.
I fuck with Lacey Evans. I feel bad for her because
it's not her fault.
It's like not her fault, man.
She's just speaking up for what she feels.
Facts. And how people hate like vegans. Everybody hates vegans.
Well, you're not a vegan.
I mean, I used to be one, but I don't hate ones now that I eat meat. You know what I mean? Like I understand it. I understand their.
You've lived on the other side.
Right. I've seen the side. And I understand it, and it's a respectable side. It's not when there's obviously radical extreme ones that are annoying, but that's like in any genre of anything. There's annoying people in everything.
Like Rob Banks.
Who's that?
Rob Banks is an activist for for veganism, and he goes around to places like Canada Goose and UGG and stuff like that. And
don't tell me he throws poo.
No, he'll protest in front.
Oh.
Yeah, but good.
He'll clip stuff to people's back. Like if you're wearing a fur, if you're wearing a jacket with fur, He'll go up to you, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? And he'll clip something like, I'm
Like
an
a dead
animal
animal?
killer.
Kick me.
Like, legit, like, kick me, I'm an animal killer. He'll, like, clip it to your back.
What an
And
idiot.
he's like
You
one
know
of
what?
those people.
He believes in that shit so much to do that. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what? Listen.
Fuck.
Should
I mean, look at
animals,
us.
should
what
animals
we're
be
doing.
murdered for clothing? I don't know. You know?
It's
It's
like your head, Pat.
it-
None of our business.
global warming, in my opinion, seems like
It's
a very
real.
real scientific thing. Do we need to
Dude,
throw Campbell's soup on a famous painting to
just
tell
bring my
people that? I don't know.
You know what Campbell's soup reminds
It's
me
over
of?
my
Pat, now
head.
that you say that?
It's over my head.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember that Campbell's soup commercial with the snowman?
No?
No.
Brian, do
I
you
know.
remember a
The
camp?
melting, I heard it, and the melting snowman.
Yes. Do
I
you remember? And it was
100%
it was a little boy. He looks up. He goes,
And then he's so very warm. He's so happy and warm after his soup.
"That's how I felt today after my Wendy's chili."
AEW Dynamite last week. Did either of us watch it?
Yes.
Tell me
Rick
one
Ross.
thing. Yeah, right.
Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
Rick
the Rick Ross thing.
Rick Ross.
Accusations. False accusations.
Oh, Sean, are you pro or con Rick Ross? Because I was at Brian's house earlier, and I said some disparaging comments about Rick Ross. Amanda got on me right away. She said, hey, I liked Rick Ross. Rick
I'll
Ross
be
was
honest with
awesome.
you, I am all con, pun intended, Rick Ross. So that means yes, Rick Ross for AEW. You need stuff like that on TV.
So
You
stupid.
do.
Dude, he's so good the way he
He's
delivers
good, though.
his
He
words,
is not
too.
good.
What is bad about it?
Good is not a way that I would use to describe Rick
The way he
Ross.
spoke, the way he spoke, just because so if he didn't drop an F-bomb, would you say it would have been better?
You know what? I like him more than Stokely Hathaway.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Pat. Have you ever watched what's the guy's name from Coming to America that he's Eddie Murphy's like right-hand man?
Let me stop you right there. I've never
Arsenio
seen.
Hall.
Arsenio Hall.
I've never
Arsenio
seen
Hall.
Coming to America CUM. Never seen it.
What?
Wow. So we'll touch base on that another time. But Arsenio Hall, are you familiar with Arsenio Hall?
You never saw Coming to America, dude?
Rick Ross thought it was real. What's up, Adam? Adam, you've had a lot of great comments, so I just want to shout you out.
Have you ever seen the Arsenio Hall show?
I've seen it.
Okay, so there is a show. There is one of the showings is with Slick, the Doctor of Style,
I hate this conversation.
right? with Akeem.
Hey, everyone.
That's how I
Thanks
feel
for
when you talk
watching.
about fucking fantasy football.
Boulevard
It's-
Bullies Fantasy Football Channel. We're just in a wrestling portion of our show. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you haven't seen Coming to America, let us know in the comments. If you have, just give me a brief synopsis of the plot right there in the comments.
Well, anyway,
Anybody
I
that's
feel
funny has seen
Rick
Coming to
Ross
America.
on AEW TV is good for them because half their wrestling is boring, and when you have stuff that's funny for people to watch, you tune in. And I think that's a great thumbnail. His name associated with them is going to gain
He
traction.
is an idiot.
But you know what? So is a lot of people on AEW TV.
Let me ask you an
I thought
honest
as far as
question.
his speaking in a promo, I thought his delivery was awesome. Like the way he spoke and was just like a G.
I thought it was hilarious.
Dude,
Like, funny.
he called the commentator, the announcer lady, cute before he walked away.
Renee Young.
She was so fucking funny.
You would like some womanizing like that, Brian, wouldn't you?
You know, Amanda thought it was funny too. God damn it!
Is Amanda a Rick Ross fan?
I would say.
But, let me ask you a question. We kind of like Rick Ross because we're all within relatively the same age.
The goddamn boss.
Yeah, but like the last song that he made that anybody in like on the street knew was like 15 years ago.
So
Oh.
he's a legendary man.
He's not legendary. He's just
Rick Ross is not legendary.
Are you telling me that somebody who's like 25 years old was watching that program and was like, "Oh, Rick Ross"?
Yes.
Yeah, people
No.
know
Because
who Rick Ross
you know
is.
why, Pat? And I'm going to say this with
You're
Rick Ross.
Bugs
As
Bunny.
a businessman, when you look at Rick Ross's name, you look at the things he's done outside of rap and hip hop that have stuck. One of those things is Wingspot. Another one of those things is Cars.
Wingspot is owned by Rick Ross.
Isn't
he
it
owns
Wingstop?
Wingstop.
Wingstop, the green The
Yes.
Green
It's not.
is owned
it's
by
not-
Rick Ross.
He owns many of the stores.
Drunk
And when,
Santa is on Valentine Vision.
listen,
What is going on?
So, when people of higher stature associate your name with other things, they tend to go and grab you because it's, guess what? If this market is into this, but they also like this, that means they're gonna drag that and they're gonna put it in their watch later or watch now.
Name me 5 Rick Ross songs right now. Name me 2.
Why are you doing this?
Name me 2 Rick Ross songs that aren't named "Every Day I'm Hustling."
Maybach
That's the only
music,
one that I knew.
Maybach music, Ashton Martin music.
Did he do?
Now wait a second. Okay, I need to get some clarification on this. Rick Ross did not start. He did not begin Wingstop. He just owns a few Wingstops.
Yes,
He's
Wingstop
like,
is a franchise in which you can purchase.
He's a franchiser.
Yes, he's a franchiser.
He's like Scott Steiner with Shoney's. He's like Shaq with Papa John's.
Look, Adam knows BMF, hustling. The devil is a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch.
Those are all 2 terrible songs. Hey, you know what's a really great Rick Ross song?
All I know is hustling, man. But that's a great fucking song, dude.
Let me
That's
tell
a
you.
that's a timeless song.
Yo, okay, so Every Day I'm Hustling was great, and Skate 2. When that came on, like, you would better rest assured I was gonna like do a sick line. But hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. What was the Lil Wayne album? Father and Son?
The Carter 3?
No, it was before the Carter 3.
Carter 2.
It was after the Carter 2. I gotta look this up because I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have an alarm going off.
Go ahead.
Over there? We can't hear the.
2006, Like Father, Like Son, which is Birdman and Lil Wayne. If you listen to track 8, which is Know What I'm Doing, featuring Rick Ross. That's really all you need to know.
But I also think he's produced a lot of other people's shit. Like, I think Rick Ross might be like a producer of other songs, not just his own. You know what I mean?
Well, Rick Ross
He might be
sucks, and he
involved.
sucks as a wrestling personality as well. But he's great on Like Father, Like Son, featuring Lil Wayne and DaBaby. Well, no, I guess you wouldn't call him DaBaby anymore because there is a guy named DaBaby. So Birdman. It's exhausting teaching you guys. Brian, did you watch any other AEW stuff? You hate AEW.
I really still hate it. Nothing makes me excited about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you a few things, and I want you to rate them 1 to 10 for me.
Let's go.
Okay, but I don't. And you could say 0.5, but I don't want you to get into any fractions lower than a half.
All right, so we're going 0.5.
Or 0 to 10 with halves included.
I get it.
All right, the show opened with Ricky Starks coming out talking about. He had a whole lot of gusto. He's talking about how. Hold on, let me get Sean in on this game. Sean, you look great, by the way. Happy New Year!
Thank you.
It's a
Jib,
good
come here,
party.
Jib. Come say hi, Jib. Jib is
Love
here.
Jib here.
Jib wants to say hi. Jib, you say hi. Here.
Yo,
Here
what's
are the
up,
boys.
Ego?
Say hi.
Oh, how you guys doing?
What up?
Hey, how are you? Did you go to the MSG show?
Yeah, last night, yeah.
Give me a highlight. Give me your favorite moment. What are you gonna go to your grave loving?
It was like an 8.5 kind of. It wasn't too great.
Oh, see, he
but it
knows
wasn't
about the
too-
10. He knows about the
He went
10.
right for the 0.5.
No, it was. The ladder match was cool. The spots were cool. Kofi messed up a whole bunch of times. He
Shoot.
did like 2 spots, botched them both. Wasn't too great, but it was cool.
Did you like the Wyatt? Did you like the Wyatt match?
It was whack.
Whack.
It was really whack. I'll
What,
be
the
honest.
main?
No, not the main.
Oh.
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Oh.
Wyatt,
It was
Sean, wake the
boring.
hell up, man.
Yeah,
Get with the
Dad.
program.
So what was your favorite?
Alright.
What was your favorite match of the night?
Um,
How many? Was it just a shit match after shit match?
He just
It
said the
wasn't- it
goddamn
wasn't-
ladder match.
Yeah,
Well,
it was probably a ladder match.
But you were saying ladder match, but then you were saying all the botches in the ladder match.
It was 2 botches in the match, right? But I feel like every other. Oh no, the Liv Morgan match was good. It was a Liv Morgan.
She botched the table.
It doesn't matter. It
That
was a good
wasn't her-
match.
Dude, that's not the lady's fault.
Exactly that. It
Liv
wasn't
Liv
her
is
fault.
Liv is good. Liv is good.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was just one mess up, but that whole show
That's
was
barely
a
a
mess up.
mess up.
All right,
Wow.
rate your Christmas gifts given to you by your dad out of 10. Point fives are included.
0.5s are included. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Oh,
it was a pretty good Christmas.
out
It
of
was a
the
good
park.
Christmas.
Knocked it
It
out.
was a pretty good Christmas.
It was a pretty
liked
good
it.
Christmas. Hey.
Pretty
I was
good.
hoping
Could've
for
been
a
a little
10,
better.
but you know what? We have
Could've been a little
9.5, and that's
Could've been a
okay.
little
Well, no,
better,
it's
bro.
because last
Yeah.
year, last
Hey.
nothing could top last year.
What'd you get last year?
PS5,
Oh,
a
dude.
Switch.
Oh, jeez. You got the PS5 last year.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
10.
man. I wish I had a Christmas like that.
What are you playing on
That's
PS5?
That's a 10 Christmas.
Very quickly. Tell
I
me.
play NBA 2K
Oh,
and I
jeez.
play Madden a lot.
What a waste of a PS5.
Oh, get out of here, Pat.
What a waste of a PS5. What else
Get
do you
out of
play?
here, Pat.
Have you
I
played a
play-
single player story?
Yeah. I've been playing Gotham Knights, I think it's called. It's with like Nightwing, Robin. It's
Go
fun.
get yourself some goddamn Sekiro or some goddamn Demon Souls.
Brian, stop
is
cursing.
that?
at
Goddamn man.
Yeah.
God
God damn.
Brian, stop yelling at the guy. Hey, thank you so much, Jimmy. Sign
welcome.
off. Thank you so much. We got to
Love
get
you, Jimmy.
moving. Love you, Jimmy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
All right.
Next time, maybe dress for the occasion.
Jim is actually going to be with me this weekend in Atlantic City. Atlantic City, ringing
the
in the
GC
new year for the
It's the
GCW show.
Ooh, that's
Ooh,
Joe
maybe we
Janela
could get
by
a-
Kingo.
Maybe we could get a Jimmy blood card.
I don't know about that. Not so sure about that one. But Jimmy will be in the house, so maybe I'll have Jimmy do a little video making fun of me.
All right, here's the new game that we're going to play real quick before we get to the end of year awards.
Let's do
I'm
it.
going to vividly describe to you guys segment by segment what happened on AEW Dynamite, and then I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. You could use 0.5, but you can't use 0.25. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So first and foremost, Ricky Starks came out. He looked very nice. He was dressed very nice. He had his loafers. He had his slacks on. He gave all the perfect excuses in the world for why he lost to MJF. He said, "Hey, if I got to beat everybody, line them up, Daddy. Ricky Starks, I'm the man." Who comes out? Jericho Appreciation Society. Try to recruit Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks says, "You know what, Jericho? Something. And then Jericho says, "Yeah, you suck." He says something about sucking or something. Then Ricky Starks says, "Oh, yeah? You want to suck me?" And then starts unbuckling his pants. And then guess what? Boom. Jake Hager, purple hat, from behind, kills Ricky Starks. All the guys in the ring beat up Ricky Starks. Then who comes in? Action Andretti. Slides in the ring. Beats up the Jericho Appreciators. Saves Ricky Starks. And that's the end of that segment. Brian, out of 10.
Out of 10, that's a good 4.5.
Nice.
Yes. Remembering Ricky Starks and not a fan of his acting, I give it a 3. Flat.
3 flat.
3 flat.
Yeah, it was terrible. Did either of you actually watch this program?
No.
I had it on. The only thing that I remember seeing
Rick
was
Ross.
the Rick Ross.
Yeah.
I'm the only one hanging on. I'm the only one hanging on to this show.
What else happened? What else is memorable of the night?
Okay,
I mean,
so
again,
there were
these guys in the tag team match.
right. They had the best of 7. So,
Obviously, the fucking Young Bucks won.
right, because they were down 3-1, and nobody in real sports has come back from 3-1. So of course they got to do the Boston Red Sox jam.
It's so predictable and stupid.
So they beat them in a
Hammer's illegal match.
yeah, Hammer's legal. And then after the match, Young Bucks won, and then all 3 of the guys from Death Triangle beat up the Young Bucks with little tiny hammers.
Where does one find these tiny hammers?
I don't know. I think at the Wrestling Ring Accessory Emporium downtown, up downtown.
Aisle 4 next to the rope buckles.
Right, it's there's only one. There's only one location. It's in Rancho Cucamonga.
California.
Yeah, and then Tony Khan did a whole bunch of cocaine and decided that for this week he wanted the NBA on NBC theme. By the way, written by John Tish.
I'll never forget that one year Conan O'Brien on his show dedicated the entire broadcast of his show to that theme song, and he had every video. What's one of the Christmas movies? Is like the guy's running. It's a black and white movie. He's like, "Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year."
It's a Wonderful L.
So The Wonderful Life, and as the guy's running, he starts playing the. It's just.
Conan O'Brien is
Conan O'Brien's GOAT, and whatever you use that song with, I will always remember Conan O'Brien. So
shout out.
I thought
Conan.
that was pretty cool.
Thank you, Conan. Conan, hey, if you're watching this, we need a new camera. We just need a new camera. A few $100, you know, a few $100.
Buckies.
So yeah, that I would say that segment is about the same as out of the steady 4.5.
Yo, Adam, shout out. I gotta call this out. The John Tesh video of him playing the voicemail. Yeah. Like that was the gimmick, right? That John Tesh, this song came to him in a dream, and he fucking sang it into a fucking answering machine. Yeah, he's like, hey, I got this sweet idea for this wrestling mark to buy this song 20 years from now. Anyway, yeah, they all attacked him with little hammers. Then the thing that I wrote this down because I was watching it. Taz completely botched the. You know the saying, they may have won the battle, but they lost the war.
Right. He definitely did.
Yo, he was just out on a desert island trying to figure that one out. Absolutely terrible.
That doesn't even make me. You won the battle and lost the war.
All right, yeah, yeah. You know, it's like you might have won the battle, but you've lost the war. You know, but he was like, oh, the war. I can't even recreate how he botched it. He didn't even botch it in a funny way. He just said both things like 3 times and was just. All right.
Tried to save himself.
He tried.
All right, let's. I want to know your interest level on Stokely Hathaway. Okay, so Renee Young comes out, interviews Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson starts lamenting fucking William Regal, explaining once again why he loves William Regal, right? Which is so dumb. Like, just leave William Regal's out of it. Like, he's going back to WWE.
I mean, they can't leave him out of it because he was their leader.
How about that flopping?
It would make less sense if he didn't talk about William Regal.
let me make a quick point. This is going to be a convoluted point here, right? But like. You know how AEW has a lot of stuff happen on YouTube, and when they premiere like a new Japanese wrestler, they kind of try to expect all their fans to know who the person is. So they like AEW takes this giant leap of faith with their audience. Like, oh, they don't explain things like, oh, watching the YouTube. They don't explain things like the Japanese wrestlers. So what I'm saying is that they hold their fans in very high, like, mental and Twitter regard. So with that said, why are you over-explaining William Regal's exit? Why are you like, it's like, yeah, we all get it. You know, all your fans get it. He was the ruler of the Blackpool Combat Club, and then he went back to WWE, and now you're fucked creatively. So you don't have to over-explain to us. Because you're already expecting your fans to, like, piece together the dots themselves. So why over-explain the William Regal exit? Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. Why would they keep... It makes no sense. Sorry.
Maybe because they keep referencing them as the Blackpool Combat Club, and William Regal's from Blackpool, England.
Yeah, but you could have just had Moxley come out and disband it or something, you know? And even, I think even the... Play This If I'm Dead videotape was a little much. But
play This If I'm Dead.
Even then, they could have ended it there. There's no reason for Daniel to come out and say William Regal's names like a million times. He's almost like promoting him.
He's promoting him, protecting him. They all should have came out and beat the shit out of him before he left. Like,
yeah.
It makes no sense.
Right.
You're
I
completely wrong.
don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it.
How about HBK getting a pop at AEW last week?
Well, that's another thing, dude. That's what I'm saying. Daniel Bryan is already like the face of fucking WWE for years. And then he's coming out and being like, I was trained by HBK. 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 And then he's like, oh, and you know who else? William Regal. I love him. I loved having him here. And it's like, dude,
They always reference WWE. They like MJF's
dumb.
like saying triple trips and
Yeah.
fucking. They always mention like WrestleMania and shit. It's
You know,
like
we
it's like a,
always
it's just like
say,
a thing that's like
we always say WWE style promo. That wasn't a WWE style promo. That was just a WWE universe promo. Like he was just still in their universe. All right.
Strange.
Hook beat some guy, and then because Hook is now friends with Jungle Boy, you had to see a video of Jungle Boy getting choke slammed in a dumpster. Interest level of Hook and Jungle Boy. Brian, out of 10.
1.5.
Sean.
0.5.
All right, Moxley, I guess, is eventually going to fight Hangman Adam Page, but this week he didn't do that. This week he fucking like just said that he was going to destroy Dante Martin's brother or whatever, and went out and did it. So interest level, Brian, of Moxley, 0. What about Moxley Page? Yeah.
Was MJF even on the show?
Cut a promo.
Yeah, did he even?
I think he cut a promo, huh?
So
No,
weird.
Bryan Danielson called him out, and Ethan Page came out and said there was no MJF this week.
Oh, there we go. 0 interest, dude. It's
Okay, real
so
quick. Have you
sad.
guys been watching these Powerhouse Hobbs videos?
Yeah, his
Yeah. I got it!
Ludwig Borga style promos.
Dude, you know, I
Into
can't
the
stop.
hood.
Right from the yeah, I remember seeing those.
It's like,
vignettes.
hey, you know what my first memory is? Watch my uncle choke on his own blood!
I kind of fuck with it though. It's like it's kind of like hard shit.
You know, even if that is true, I just
think it might
can't
be
help
true.
because I always think about, every time I see one of these videos, I think about Jack Black in Anchorman, where he's like the biker.
That's how I roll.
That's how I roll. I got an apple for my birthday.
He punts the dog.
Yeah, he goes,
Baxter!
he goes, because like Ron Burgundy throws a burrito out of the car,
And he's riding the
and
motorcycle.
it hits Jack Black in the face, and he wrecks his bike, and he goes, hey, bro, threw a burrito in my face. That bike is the only thing I love. I got an apple for my birthday.
Dude, Jack Black, man.
And
Go.
and so every time Powerhouse Hobbs says one of these over the top things
You just think of Jack
about
Black.
like how his first memory is his uncle overdosing and choking on his own blood. It's like, yo, dude, that's a crazy story. He's like basically the male 300-pound linebacker version of Lacey Evans right now.
Mhm.
Lacey Evans told her whole story about the thing.
I think this is better than Lacey Evans because Lacey Evans is like that. She was like a Marine, so that's kind of like turned me off a little bit. I don't like Marines, and I feel like this is
yeah.
more.
Well, look at you now, eating all the processed food that Lacey Evans doesn't want you to.
It tastes so good.
You're eating all the processed foods. All right, interest level out of 10, Brian, for Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs vignettes 6.5.
Ooh, 6.5. Sean, what do you think here?
You're being nice, Papa. I'll give you a 2 for trying.
2 for trying. He is trying. I got an apple for my birthday. This is very, very funny to me.
I'm being generous, man.
What about this? This was actually the best 7 minutes condensed. FTR lost to the Gun Club.
That sucked.
Yeah, that really sucked. Gun Club pulled the tights, got the leverage. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I don't even care what you guys think about that because I don't care about it. Okay, Rick Ross. And by the way,
Promo time.
comment
Promo
below,
time.
whenever you're watching this, comment below, and we want to discuss with you what you guys think about this.
He was definitely the best part of that whole segment.
100%.
And probably the best part of the show. It's anything everybody's talking about.
Show was
Right.
whack. Ross
The
was
whole
back.
entire show was whack, and he was the only thing that was like funny and
Yep.
like interesting and
Couldn't
different.
agree more.
So give me a rating, Brian.
I'm gonna give Rick Ross a fucking solid 7.5.
Brian's just doing all 0.5s. You know, you just love it. It's fun to say.
I'm going 8. I'm going straight 8. 8 flat.
So that was by far the best part of the show for you guys. What
Yeah.
else happened? The mogul affiliates. Hey, bonus points if either one of you remember the guy with the tattooed face. What's his name?
He was a MLB player that I remember.
Right,
I don't
he was
know.
a minor league baseball player.
Minor league baseball players.
Don't remember the name.
And
He
by
looks
the
like he
way,
just got out of prison.
dude, yeah, there's a point where it's like, there's too many tattoos for a wrestler to have. And that guy looks like he looks like what's the guy's name?
Tattoos.
He looks
Riff
like
Raff?
Stitches from the Insane
Stitches.
Clown Posse.
It's not. No, Stitches is not in the Insane Clown.
Well, but
Posse.
he's an affiliate. He's a juggalo for sure.
Stitches. No,
Yeah, I
Stitches
think
is
so.
just he's the guy that used to throw cocaine in the people's faces at his shows.
The big Mexican guy?
Is he Mexican? He has the Joker smile.
Yeah. He's big No, I think he's Cuban actually. He's Cuban.
All right, I don't care about this anymore. Final thought on AEW, and I just want a quick one-word answer. Brian, who has better cocaine, Tony Khan or Rick Ross?
Tony Khan.
Sean?
Khan.
Wow, unanimous.
That Tony Khan uses the daddy money, dude.
I think that he only has the best cocaine because Rick Ross is supplying it to him.
Very possible.
Every day I'm hustling.
Either way, they both have the best cocaine.
Quick Impact news. Rich Swann, friend of the program, new dad. Love him. Little Richie Jr. out there killing it. Rich Swann, friend of the program, love him. 2-year extension with Impact.
Good for him.
Yeah. Other Impact news. Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer still wrestling.
Still going at it with each other.
Still wrestling. I'm really, really excited. If I had to give talk about interest level, if I had to give a 10 to anything going on soon, it would be Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn against John Cena and Kevin Owens. Sean, do you have a prediction of what's going to happen in that match?
I think for the first time in a long time, we're going to get a little teaser of what's to come for the road to WrestleMania this Friday. And I think it's going to be the miscommunication between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. I think Roman is, again, as I've said this many shows in the past, Roman is coming to a point where he's becoming frustrated. If you see how he reacts at the end of his matches, he looks as if he's surprised to be holding his titles. He looks to put the blame on other people. And I think this Friday it's going to be an upset. And I think the blame is going to be put on Sami Zayn. And I think it is a great way to enter the new year and a great way to kick off the road to WrestleMania into the Royal Rumble.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe one of the, maybe Solo or Jay is going to, make the miscommunication happen. They're going to sabotage Sammy.
I think they're going to be barred from ringside.
You think?
I think that's going to be a complete Adam Pearce. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm barring the bloodline from ringside to make sure that our main event is down the middle.
If they're barred, then it's going to end in a disqualification.
You think so?
I'm thinking.
What I'm also remembering is
It's
the
either
fact
going to be
that
disqualification or it's going to be might be barred, but they'll come out, try to cause a There'll be some kind of distraction, but Kevin Owens and John Cena will still win. They're going to win the match.
Let's look at it like this. Cena's back. He's not back for long, but he's back. The last time we seen Cena was in Las Vegas at SummerSlam last year when he took on Reigns and he lost.
Shout out, Larry. What's up?
So this could be a possibility of having Cena take on Roman as a SummerSlam rematch after Royal Rumble, because let's face it, there's not anybody for Roman to face going into the Royal Rumble. And we know for sure he's not dropping those titles anytime soon. So again, I see Cena and Reigns quite possibly having a rematch. I see there being a miscommunication in the bloodline between Sammy and Roman. And
so you think Cena and Reigns at Royal Rumble?
I think that's a big possibility. Yes.
Or maybe even Kevin Owens.
Or maybe even Kevin. Maybe even set up the match for KO and Roman at the Rumble. But I could see Cena taking on a rematch with Roman at the Rumble.
Was it last year that it was Reigns and Owens at the Rumble, or was that 2 years ago?
No, I think that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think Cena kind of has a recent streak of being awesome at Royal Rumbles too.
Yes.
Cena's just awesome all the fucking time. Dude.
He is great.
He had a incredible match with AJ back in 2018 at the Rumble in, I think, the same arena. So again, history and arenas, they mean a lot when it comes to the WWE and sports entertainment. And I think this will be a great way to lead Cena into WrestleMania, because let's face it, we're going into Hollywood. Cena is at the top of Hollywood right now, and if you don't have that man on that card for that show, you quite possibly might be doing something wrong.
Do you think we're going to see The Rock at the Royal Rumble?
I think they are working on it. I don't think anything is set in stone. I think there are communications. I think there are dates that have to get worked out. But I do think at some point in time, The Rock will be back on WWE TV.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's needed. It's needed for sure.
It's been a spoken about thing for so long.
And if you want to get technical, this is the 10-year anniversary since the last time The Rock has wrestled a match, a full match. Because
2023 would be the 10th year.
It would be that WrestleMania would be WrestleMania 39.
Gotcha.
The last time he had an actual match was against John Cena at MetLife Stadium, April 7th, 2013.
That's insane.
So, again, it's 10-year anniversary. I think it's time for The Rock to show up back on TV. Let's send him off the right way. DC hasn't been too nice to the Great One. Come back home, Rocky. Let's make it right. Let's put a strap on you. Let's send you off the right way.
A strap? Oh, no. Come on. Roman's got to beat him.
He's going to be like this.
Yeah, he was very frivolous with his strap.
Listen, man, I don't know. I just think it's a great time in wrestling. I think WWE has the ball in their hands right now, and anything that they do, we're going to be invested in it, because they got Cena, you got The Rock, you got the Royal Rumble. And who doesn't love the Royal Rumble? It's great.
Final question before we get to year-end awards. Freddie Prinze Jr. says that the only mistake that Triple H has made since assuming control was firing Mandy Rose. Agree or disagree, Sean?
100% agree. I think that was one of the most silliest mistakes. And again, I will lean heavily on what I said on our last show. I think that her release was just something that they had to do as a company in order to appease their shareholders and what is rightfully to be done in certain conditions as that, because that's just something, like, let's be honest, she didn't engage in any sexual intercourse online. That's fine. But what you're doing is not something that a company that appeases to children should be having some sort of a relation with.
There has to be something in the contract that enables them to release on the spot like that. Like,
maybe
there has to be a fine, like something that says, if you do this, then you're going to be released. Because they could just fined her or done a suspension or some kind of other reprimand.
I think it's probably more about the money she was making than the content she was presenting.
I'm thinking that in their contract, like, it's like if they're doing this specific action, it's automatic void of contract, and that's a termination.
Yeah,
and so it's like that if they let her like slide and give her a suspension, then what does that say? Then anybody can just do it.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what Matt Riddle is like perpetrating online these days. It's like kind of a much worse look than a little tits in the pool.
Well, apparently Matt Riddle is not doing any drugs, and he's just going through a fucking divorce.
Yeah, but if you Google Matt Riddle,
WWE never reported Matt Riddle being suspended.
But if you Google Matt Riddle, you probably find a lot more unsavory content than if you Google Mandy Rose.
Well, he dates a goddamn porn star.
If you're a kid clicking around the web, you know what I'm saying, and that's what they're concerned about is kids clicking around the web.
Yep.
They're concerned about maybe Saudi Arabia was like, are those nipples? We will pull out of this and sue your ass. So fire this bitch.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And then, listen, at the end of the day, she became more of an asset to her than the company was for her.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Shout out to finding her way and keep grinding, shorty. Do your thing.
Facts.
They want you. They'll come back to you.
And the worst part is now that she's got fired, she's going to be a millionaire before the end of the year. Probably never going to see a nipple again on that site. Probably never, ever, ever again going to see a nipple. So you know what? Whoever leaked it, the WWE should all be very, very happy with yourselves. Because now, pool nipples, there's going to be a thing 10 years from now. We look back and go, that was a good time. That was a great time. Those pool nips.
I love the pool nips.
All right, you guys ready for the end of year awards?
Let's do it, baby.
Go. Top of the top, boys.
Now, I'm afraid that this part of the show is going to be marred down by us debating what happened over the last year and what we remember. And it's like, one of us is going to say something and I'm going to go, did that happen this year? Other be like, yeah, I don't know. So, listen, broad strokes. This is an abstract painting here. So if you say something from last year, I'm just going to accept it as fact.
Let's go.
So let's start at the top, first and foremost. Top of the mountain. Just a little goat boy sitting atop the peak, alone, shitting, and allowing it to roll downhill. Wrestler of the year.
Sean?
I'm going to go wrestler of the year. Now, when you
year-end awards.
Now, when you say wrestler, you are thinking of all-around entertainer. You got somebody who go and walk through the ropes, somebody who grab a microphone and deliver on the microphone, and somebody who's carrying the company on their back when they have to.
Now, does money at all play a part in this for you?
No.
Do you incorporate money and ratings into it?
Ratings, yes. Money, no.
You're talking just overall skill.
Overall skill. I'm going to lean towards Sami Zayn.
Wow.
And
okay.
My reason in saying that is because this past year at WrestleMania, he was given the opportunity to share the ring with someone who is not a professional wrestler. And in order to do that...
Was that this year?
Jackass was...
I'm just kidding.
That
I'm just kidding.
That was this past Mania. And when you're given the task of sharing the dance floor, if you will, with someone, your job is to make sure they are safe and they are well protected at all times from bell to bell. And not only did he do that, but he performed at a level where the company saw that they can rely on him in any sort of situation. You know what I'm saying? He was also then given the opportunity to stand alongside the current longest reigning WWE champion of all time. And when you are allowed to stand next to the guy and deliver at the same level as the guy, you have been given the torch in a way. You are allowed to carry the torch amongst the 5 other men that stand alongside you.
He basically carries that whole fucking faction.
Exactly my point, Brian. That's what I was getting to right now. And if you want to be technical, he is carrying the bloodline into the new year. So Sami Zayn is my wrestler of the year.
Stroke award. Brian, who's your wrestler of the year?
I think just from story-wise alone, it's got to be Roman. Roman has been now the longest reigning champion of all time, and it's just been nonstop for him.
Yeah.
Ever since he's came back, and he's on a legendary fucking run. That's insane.
Yo, off the top of my head, I wanted to go Roman as well. Sean was talking about best, entertainment, more of the, iconic wrestling values. I was going to be a complete sellout, just talk about ticket sales and ratings and be like, yo, it's Roman. But also he's still mad corny, but he's like appealing in the way that, The Rock is corny but appealing, or Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious is corny and appealing. It's just Roman's awesome.
To me, he's finally became himself. Like, now, this is the best Roman Reigns.
Oh, see, I don't think that. I think he's just a new fake him. But whatever. I was going to say Roman, but I'm actually going to go Cody. Because, I'm thinking about it, and the history books will remember the run.
That might be match of the year, too, that Seth Rollins-Cody Rhodes match.
I mean, just because of the sheer like visual of his arm.
Insane.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Cody just because of the bravery to tell them to fucking stick it. And he's been classy the whole time. Anybody who's been in that company, CM Punk included, would have like left and gone on a podcast and fucking talked all this shit or whatever. And even if there was a like an NDA in place, would have like left breadcrumbs and been like kind of a dick shrouded. But he's been like straight class all the way. Hey, I got all the love for these guys. There were no problems, even though we all know there were. And he fucking parlayed it into a fucking multi-bajillion-dollar contract and a main event spot. It sucks that he got hurt.
When he comes back, he's going to have the same amount of momentum that he had when he first came back, I think.
Wow,
just for the fact that he had that injury, and that was his note that he left on.
That is so interesting, Larry. I hate to say it, but I might go Y2J. I kind of love that pick.
Very true.
And you know what? I hate to say it too, but I'm going to have to probably include him in my top 5 this year. You know?
I just hate AEW, man.
Okay, I'm going to...
Listen, regardless of the hate that you may... Not hate, the dislike that you may have for that company, let's not take away the fact that there are talented individuals who do have talent there.
Right.
Jericho being one of them, Larry. Like, let's be honest.
Fucking
the guy's in his 50s.
The Ocho.
The guy is out there doing work.
You know what?
With guys in their 20s.
And it's
putting
true.
Them over.
It's true. Like, he thought he was, like, cruising. And then one day, NBA Twitter trashed him for being fat. Then the next few months, he wasn't fat. Facts. You know? People started saying he was losing his hair. Guess what? He bought new hair. Yeah. Yo, okay, I tried to do it, but I got to go pee. I'm going to leave you guys with Tag Team of the Year. Thank you for keeping the show moving.
Oh, Tag Team of the Year. Brian, who do you have with Tag Team of the Year? Now, again, you hate AEW, but let's not disregard the fact that there are good tag teams there. So who do you have? We have the resurgence of Ring of Honor, who has great tag teams as well. The WWE hasn't been too far along from that either. So who do you got?
Full bloodline for me, dude. Usos Tag Team of the Year, man.
Usos the Tag Team of the Year?
Yep.
Yeah?
No, the momentum that the bloodline is becoming one of the most insane factions of all time.
I am going to lean heavy with FTR. I'm a big fan of old school wrestling. I'm a big fan of just lineage, and I feel like they are leaving their lineage out in the ring, and they're making history every time they step into an arena and step in between ropes. The last crazy match,
they're going between promotions as well,
and they're jumping all over the continent. If you want to get technical, these guys are global, right? They're a global tag team who's just New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, AEW. They're wrestling.
Well, you say global, but WWE itself is global.
Of course,
being in WWE makes you a global entity.
It does, but guess what? You're not able to travel up and whenever you want to go and defend your straps out in Japan.
FTR is,
and they're not.
Right.
If you want to be technical, those are the guys right now. Regardless of whatever cold streak they're on right now, they've held the best tag titles that this world has to offer.
Right.
So FTR, Dax, Cash, congratulations. You're ringside strong tag of the year.
Have they ever been AEW tag champs?
Yeah, they were. They lost the straps.
They lost to what was it? The Young Bucks?
I think once they were, yeah.
Yeah, they lost the straps.
FTR is your tag team of the year, Sean?
Yes, sir.
I went Uso.
You went Usos. Oh, those are both great picks.
Full bloodline, yeah.
You know, once again, I could go either one of those guys, FTR or, whatever the fuck you said, Usos. But just in the interest of being different, how about I give you the number 3? Maybe let's go the Acclaimed.
Wow.
You know, if you really think about it, just to make a case for the Acclaimed, I think that once again...
That's a shocking...
Well, listen, I'm not an Acclaimed fan. I would definitely rank I think I would do Usos 1, FTR 2, and then I'm going to just bring up the Acclaimed because, you can't deny, they went from like, they really are a rocket in the sky. You know, Billy Gunn latched on to them. You know, baseball players are scissoring each other during the playoffs. You know, people are they really have a lightning in a bottle type situation. Am I a big fan of them? No. Do I think it's corny? Yes.
But you can't deny the creativity and the fact that they've created momentum.
Right, and basically enormous ascension or whatever. Ascending motion, ascending action. All right, and you know what? This next question, I want you guys to be esoteric here. You don't have to decide between WWE or AEW. You could say whatever you feel in your heart. Promotion of the year. Which promotion? You know, and here, how about two-parter? Which one did you spend the most time watching? And which promotion gave you the most joy?
Well, I'm going to go first here and go ICW No Holds Barred, because that's the only show that I really go out of my way, I mean, to like sit and watch, especially because of Larry. But when I watch Raw, I just have it on at work, or I'll have it on in passing. But I'll have ICW. I make a point to watch the ICW shows.
You know, Brian, that's why I wanted to preface this question with follow your heart. Because I knew you were going to say that, and I wanted you to say that. Because it's important. What about you, Sean? Goddamn jacket.
Oh, man. I have spent the entire year traveling the U.S. I'd say I think I could say that. And throughout my travels up and down the good old road, I have stumbled upon GCW. And I think my, favorite company of the year to have to go to GCW. I spent time there with my family. I travel with my brother. It's become something that's just done. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we're at. Like, you want to find me? I'll be on my GCW. You know what I'm saying? So I think GCW for me. But again, Brian, you said ICW, and then this year I was also introduced to the Chains. I've watched it before, but I've never been there in person. And since my first Chains show, I have not missed one that's in my area. So who's to say Chains won't be my promotion of the year next year?
My personal goal of 2023 is to make the Chains of ICW your promotion of the year.
And you know what?
Wow.
It's probably going to happen, because look how invested I became with the Casey Catal, Brandon Kirk, and
that's shit, dude.
It was fire. You know what I'm saying? And I was invested, and I loved it. And you know what? I made a great friend, Larry the Man Legend. You know what I'm saying? So it's
you know what? This is insane. You two are the best wrestling fans I have ever known. Listen to these guys.
That's why we're your goddamn pals.
I'm going to have to say that my favorite wrestling promotion, and it was so glaringly obvious, I don't understand why either of you picked it, but it's got to be Outlaw Wrestling for me. It's been by far the most consistent, entertaining piece of work, piece of business that you could ever fucking go to. It's the best goddamn $40 value in wrestling.
Now, Pat,
4 months of IWTV? Yeah, right. No, thank you.
When do they return, Pat?
Is it January 12th or 13th?
The 12th.
January
the 13th, Pork Chop
12th.
Express. You know what? The Pork Chop Express, you better show out to that Outlaw show on the 12th, because it's your birthday the next day.
Let me tell you exactly what's happening on that show.
Talk to me.
3 of us are coming out together, and we're going to all intro the show together as a trio.
That's going to be my first sick day, and I'm already going to put in for it.
Right, you know what? I wasn't even including you. I was including Sean's brother. But guess what? Damn, the 4 of us. The 4 of us. The 4 of us will come out together, because guess what? That's just what's happening now.
Ballroom. Larry.
Yo, you know what? Melrose Ballroom, I'll come out with 25 people. We'll come out with everybody, dude.
LAX did that at an
Yo,
Impact show.
Larry, if Melrose Ballroom, praise be, baby Jeebs, if it still happens, you're gonna be seeing the glitch graphic and hearing the Blvd Bullies. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure that they turn it up to 11.
Boulevard. We gotta get Larry in that day. We have to get Larry in for a show. I think we also have to bring Larry to an Outlaw show, and we have to make a day of it because it's been quite some time since we made plans.
Yeah.
When was the last time we made plans? Is when we went to see this shitty AEW show.
Favorite match of the year. Favorite match of the year, Brian.
Brian?
Man, that's really tough. That's a really, really tough
I
one.
haven't given it any thought until right now.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think. It's got to be a Matt Tremont match, and I'm trying to think of which one it is. What match has happened this year, man? He's done so many matches this year since he's came back. Was the RSP match that he returned this year, the no rope barbed wire that he won?
I think that was last year.
I knew we were going to worry about what year it was.
Yeah, see, this is the match of the year is tough, man. Fuck. Sean, you go.
Oh. I'm going to say Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania.
That's not a bad one, actually.
You know,
legendary shit, dude.
Because it was on the shoot, nobody knew it was gonna happen, and it was the very last match that Vince McMahon had, and it was at WrestleMania. So you know what?
Good one. That's
match of the year for me.
Really
okay, so, back to me. It was the tournament of survival that Alex Colon won for the third time this year.
Tremont in the finals of TOS, says Larry. I don't know exactly what that means.
That was this year. That was this year, and Alex Colon beat Tremont, right?
Yes,
that's my match. That's my match of the year. That's the match.
Three-peat.
And yep, the three-peat, and Matt Tremont made it all the way to the end.
I'm trying to think.
How about you, Pat? What's your match of the year, bro?
I'm trying to think. I really did love the main event of WrestleMania, or not the main event, or like whatever the fuck that was. Like I really had a great time watching McAfee, Austin Theory become McAfee versus Vince, leading into Stone Cold coming out. Like, I just thought that was like the most magical shit. So that's definitely up there for me.
It really, really was magical shit, dude.
You know, you said Cody Hell in the Cell, but I kind of leaned towards Cody Mania as well, because there was just such like a surreal moment.
Oh, that was Rollins. That it was both of those matches are Rollins.
Yeah, it was just so surreal. It's like we knew he was going to come out.
Everybody knew it was Cody.
And then he came out and he did the cartwheel and the Stardust shit.
Right.
That was kind of like really.
Good.
I really liked that. That was really fun this year. And
Is that your match of the year?
I also really loved CM Punk MJF dog collar as well.
That was a knockdown drag out.
So, you know, I think I'm just going to go Cody WrestleMania, just because that's a guy who has annoyed the fucking shit out of me for years and years. And just seeing him, I was like, you know what? I fucking love this guy now. Yeah,
I remember your turn. Like that turned you into Cody.
Because, you know, I was like a big Cody hater.
You hated him.
And then, like, all of a sudden, like, and, you know, it's like they did all the same corny shit. He's like basically the same. He's still insufferable.
He's the American Nightmare, boy.
Yeah, and he comes up from the ramp. They built a ramp for him. Way to be, save it all. Yeah,
it's so good, man.
Yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, so that's it for me. What else we got?
3 great matches.
Best women's wrestler of the year.
Mandy Rose.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? Not even for the nipples.
Nope.
But
just for the pure improvement of an all around.
Overlive Morgan.
100%. 100%. You know why? Mandy kept the title for so long she never made them feel the need to give the strap to someone else for a little bit. When a belt is put on you, you make magic happen, and you give them a reason not to take it off of you. You give them a reason to scrap the ideas they have for after you. And Mandy Rose not only improved as an athlete, but she improved as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So
I
Mandy
agree.
Rose is my female wrestler of the year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. I agree
Bianca's
with you.
cool. Bianca's cool and all. Bianca's a tremendous athlete. But again, like I said before, it takes being an entertainer. It takes being athletic to be a wrestler. And Mandy Rose has owned her craft, and she took her ball and did what she wanted to do with it.
Shoved it up her butt. Anyway, Brian, what about your female MVP wrestler of the year?
I think female MVP, I'm going to go a good old Saraya. Saraya, just because she overcame what everybody thought she was never going to wrestle again.
She found Dr. Nick.
Hi,
everybody.
I think that somebody that cares so much about wrestling to, like, even after getting hurt, to
cares so much about being the center of attention.
Dude, I mean, she's not the center of attention.
Well, if she could have gone and been an actress, I'm sure she would have.
But she loves wrestling.
Does she? Or does she love acting?
She's not an actor. She's a wrestler.
Actress.
Whatever it is, I think that when people like Edge and Bryan Danielson and Saraya get these serious life-changing injuries and then work so hard to come back and
you know what, Brian?
Their shit.
You're right.
Dr. Hibbert. Yeah. They found Dr. Hibbert and not Dr. Nick.
Well,
I appreciate.
I mean, are we sure?
Perseverance. Their perseverance makes her wrestler.
Oh.
My female wrestler of the year is gonna be.
It is really tough because women's wrestling kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Brian, but you know what? I'm gonna go. I was gonna say Rhea Ripley because I love her so much, but I'm gonna go Sasha Banks. Told them to take their cookie and stick it where the sun don't shine. And now she moved to Japan. She's eating, what's your favorite sushi? Shrimp tempura. Brian, what was your favorite?
The rock and roll.
Like a nice rock and roll lobster roll. Maybe a nice regular tuna roll. All on a conveyor belt. And she's fucking killing it out there in Japan. Just living her best life. Cheating on her husband. You know? What about biggest box office draw of the year? Who made their respective company the most money?
Roman Reigns.
Brian?
100% Roman Reigns.
I'm going CM Punk.
I say Roman just because of WrestleMania. It was sold out both nights.
Bray Wyatt might have sold more merch than all of these guys, though.
Bray?
But well, okay, so we can factor in merch and box office. If you want to think about live tickets versus merch. Because, you know, a case can be made that the champion isn't really directly responsible for box office sales. A case could be made that the best way to track somebody's box office, quote unquote, is by merch sales.
Right.
So I'll leave you guys to decipher your own interpretation of that.
I think that alone makes me go Wyatt, because I remember specifically seeing reports that he is the top merch seller with those that whole white rabbit whole thing, dude. People were enamored in that shit, and it was like they didn't even know it was Wyatt yet, and people were buying that.
All
shit.
right, so you go Wyatt. Sean, are you going to stick to Reigns?
Now that you say that, I'm gonna jump ship to AEW, and I'm gonna say CM Punk. I'm thinking of what he has done, as far as for the Pro Wrestling Tee store that is, prints out AEW stuff. He also had
DTG, direct to garment, obviously.
He also had the
Heat press. They even do heat press.
Collectible figure.
They do. PWG does heat press in some cases. You don't want heat press. Nice. Anyway, I'm sorry.
He also had many exclusive action figures with Ringside Collectibles. I'm also thinking about the ticket sales. Just what he's done in the short amount of time that he was there, and it quite possibly may have been more than what Roman has done. So I'm gonna say CM Punk.
Definitely, if you want to go percentile, like what percentage of, like what did he mean to their companies? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like what piece of the pie were they responsible for in their respective companies? I think CM Punk would have the edge over Roman.
Yeah, 100%.
What about Wyatt though?
He tried.
Well, Wyatt definitely was probably the leading merch seller this year.
He wasn't even wrestling, and he was still selling the most.
Yeah,
merch.
well, now the problem is that
being on the show was making people want to go and watch the show.
Problem is that now he is wrestling, so it's over. He wore his knee brace outside of his jeans.
I love it.
He's an idiot. But you could definitely make a case that he was the top merch seller of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about feud of the year? Feud of the year. You know, just some possibilities off the top of my head. CM Punk, MJF. You could do MJF Moxley, even if you really wanted to get involved in that. You could go Cody Rollins.
Yeah.
Who was Roman's big feud? I guess you could do Roman Brock, right? Because they had the Last Man with the fucking.
Yeah, they went from.
I hated Cowboy.
They went from Mania to SummerSlam, so that's another contender for the feud of the year.
Those are pretty much the big four for me. I guess you could go into like Young Bucks, Death Triangle if you want to go.
No, I think what you said was more accurate. I'm gonna lean more towards MJF, CM Punk. You have a lot of investment from old school fans, and then you have investment for the fans who are, just now engaging into AEW and enjoying what CM Punk, what MJF is doing when it comes to his promos, while he's mentioning other companies and name dropping and stuff like that. That's stuff that you look to enjoy when you want a wrestler to like and a feud to follow. So I'm gonna say MJF, CM Punk. Their dog collar match was something I think a lot of people are going to be talking about later on down the line. So yeah.
Well, especially with the media scrum and the way it ended.
Yeah.
Kind of solidified its legendary status.
Yep. So, what do you think, Brian?
I'm kind of thinking that it was the whole John Wayne Murdoch, Alex Colon beef.
How they didn't turn into boys.
Then they became the Mega Bastards. And I really enjoyed that whole feud.
What about you, Pat?
Let me think about it. Oh, I know. Fucking Crowbar Homicide, Outlaw Wrestling. Boom. Feud of the year for me.
Boom. Fire.
Rediscovered Crowbar. Went to see Crowbar at Crowbar with Crowbar.
Is Crowbar still the current Outlaw champion?
He is. And you know what? Speaking of dog collar, January 13th, dog collar match. January 12th. 12th dog collar match, and the singer of Agnostic Front is going to be in the corner of Homicide, which is surprising because I always thought he was racist.
The singer of Agnostic Front?
Yeah.
Is he?
Maybe he's just trying to prove a point that he's not.
You know what? Good for him. Amen. Hallelujah. What about most improved? Sean?
Most improved, I am going to say, and a lot of you guys may disagree with me, I'm going to say Madcap Moss.
Madcap! Woo!
Madcap Moss.
Thank you, Madcap, for working so hard.
He's a name that has bounced around NXT and the chopping block for quite some time, the way Tyler Breeze was. And he was given the opportunity to excel, and he did his thing. And he's actually entertaining. Like, I could sit there and be like, wow, this guy can wrestle. It's not boring.
Ooh, I just figured out my pick. Brian, what's yours?
My most improved is going to be Roman Reigns. Because
wow.
I literally used to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I thought he was the worst thing that has happened to wrestling, and he was just being completely forced into our mouths. And now he's finally came to fruition. He's came to fruition of his persona.
Forced into our mouths.
And then he what, Brian?
He's came into fruition.
He came in it. Our mouths.
He's came in our mouths properly. Dude, Roman Reigns used to get booed out of the building, and people used to say, fuck Roman Reigns, cut nonstop, dude.
And then he came.
Thing. And then he came.
Then he came.
Keeps coming.
You know, I forgot mine now. Completely.
I think it's the same one, Pat.
No, it wasn't.
Because he came.
No, it wasn't. I had mine so ready.
Was it Rollins?
Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
It's Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, dude. He. You want to talk about going from 0 to 100?
I'm trying to be like cool. I'm trying to give you the hipster pick. I'm trying to give you like this sexy, like look how smart I am picks.
No, but really think about it though.
That's what I'm saying. Really think about it, because I'm so smart.
He turned himself into the kid that everybody wanted to see off of TV to the kid that everybody wants to see on TV because he keeps bullying his little dad.
Yeah.
I fuck with it because at first it was kind of like a Sting, Darby Allin kind of relationship where him and his dad were like, yay, me and my dad.
No, it's not like that now. Long-term storytelling is what they're doing.
The Rhea Ripley thing is oftentimes pretty cringy, but he does every so often get a little zinger in, a little one-liner.
He gets some sings.
Oh, I can't see, mommy. Like whatever.
Did you guys see him get arrested
right.
Christmas Day?
Maybe that's why that's fresh in my mind. They showed up to once again attack his dad.
Did he get arrested on Thanksgiving too?
He did. So he
didn't get arrested on Thanksgiving.
Holiday. You guys ready for New Year's Eve?
He just beat up Ray on Thanksgiving. He didn't get arrested.
Right. Oh right, he just came. They had the tip, and he beat him up.
This time they installed a ring and they were fucking ready for him.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for New Year's Eve. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, and really, like you could say like, you know, because I did say Cody turned it around. Like Brian, much like you hated Roman, I hated Cody, then I loved him. But I don't know why Ray just stuck. Or Dom just stuck out in my mind. Because you could say the same about Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is like in the conversation of women's MVP, and she could even be
she's popular right now. She's popular as fuck.
She could be in the conversation for most improved as well. So it's like almost a co-award for Rhea and Dom.
Mommy and Poppy.
Mammy and Pappy.
Just turning it all around. Rhea Ripley is still a terrible actor, but you know what? For me, her shoulders do the talking.
Fucking shoulders to the ground, you know? Can we get to the most important goddamn award?
We're getting there. Listen, we went over. This is where we got good stuff going on, so we're just giving bonus time. New Year's Eve bonus time. If you guys want to take next week off, you can.
No weeks off.
Okay. Best interviewer of the year. Quickly now.
Renee Paquette.
No, I mean like best promo of the year. Like not the best singular promo. Best wrestler on the microphone of the year.
Matt Tremont.
Nice.
Forever and ever and ever.
Sean?
I am going to say MJF.
I'll say Sami Zayn since you didn't.
MJF, I'm going to say.
Honorable mention to Ricky Starks for turning a corner as well in the late stages of the year. Okay, this is directly from the Wrestling Observer. The Bryan Danielson Award. Best Technical Wrestler. Bryan.
I'm going to have to go ahead and say Bryan Danielson.
Okay, good. The guy who's still wrestling wins the award for the thing that was named after. Smart.
Right.
Safe choice. Sean.
Best technical wrestler of the year. I'm going to say Drew Gulak because he's now an instructor.
Yeah, and he trained Bad Bunny and Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville and Coolio how to wrestle. I'm gonna go with Dax Harwood. You know, he's taken strides to make people think that he's great. Bruiser Brody Best Brawler Award.
Kevin Owens.
Nice.
Gunther.
Brody King.
For you, Brody King?
Yeah.
Brody King's dead.
Brody Lee. No, Brody Lee's dead.
I'm sorry.
Brody Lee is dead. You fooled me.
I'm sorry, I pulled you.
Best high flyer.
Ricochet.
Best high flyer. ASF.
Who's ASF?
GCW ASF. Little guy. Luchador.
I'm sure he sucks.
Nah, he's pretty good.
What does its ASF stand for? Something?
ASF. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if anybody in the comments know.
He wears mask.
Nah, he's a short guy. He usually tags with what's this guy's name? Gringo Loco.
Oh, so okay, gotcha.
He's a luchador. Yeah.
Gringo Loco definitely might be in the top 10 for the year. He's come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Dante
What about
Martin.
Vikingo?
What?
Vikingo?
That guy Vikingo.
Hijo del Vikingo.
Dante Martin always in the conversation.
Oh yeah, Dante Martin's definitely one of the top 3 aerial guys.
You know, Ricochet, I agree. I would still put Ray Phoenix in there. I'm going to go ahead and say Darby Allin, because not of his high-flying maneuvers, but the way he gets the shit beat out of him and gets accordioned on like every bump.
Nobody throws their body like Darby Allin throws his
He's an idiot.
Body.
He's an idiot, and I love him. Most overrated wrestler.
Wow.
I'm going to start with this one. You ready for this?
Go.
Maybe not in the beginning of the year, but certainly towards the second half. I hate to do it. Ooh, Mox is a good one. But my mind immediately went to MJF, dude.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oversaturated.
I mean,
yeah.
the first half of the year, ever since CM Punk left, you could go Kenny Omega this year. Maybe
I already know mine.
Maybe there are better options, but I'm sticking the course. I want to give you the answers that make you think that I'm smart. So I'm going to go MJF because you know what? Maybe I'm a year ahead, but I'm telling you, what you see is not what you get.
I'm going to go ahead and go CM Punk.
Of course. All year you've been saying it.
Because he's always been overrated.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, Brian. I'm going CM Punk. He tried to deliver on multiple occasions, and I don't think it dawned on him.
The masses of idiots love him. And
I don't think it dawned on him that the older you get, the more your style has to change in order to keep up. And you've seen it in a lot of his high-profile matches where, for example, he tried to do a buckshot lariat. What happens? His knees buckle.
Oh, you just reminded me. You just reminded me. Most overrated Hangman Adam Page. Most underrated wrestler.
Most underrated wrestler. Crowbar.
Wow. Good choice. Good choice.
Fuck.
Crowbar's kind of coming on late, though, in this year. Kind of getting his flowers a little bit. We'll see what the future holds.
I definitely think Crowbar. I think Crowbar has shown that not only can he hang with the guys of yesterday, but he can most certainly tango with the boys of today.
Very good choice. Brian, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking about the overrated.
Ooh, Dr. Toboggan coming in saying most overrated is Bray Wyatt. That's a good one. Drew McIntyre, Larry Legend, another good pick for most overrated. But right now we're on most underrated. Larry says Deppen, which is a good one.
Yeah, I can't think who deserves some shit that they're not really
I'll go ahead just because, we watch the shows. At least I am guilty of just being lazy in my viewing, just watching the network shows that are fed to me. Which, Dr. Toboggan, you're completely right. AEW is trash, but I watch it every week. It's my favorite car crash. It's like I watch 2 hours of Cops every week.
Filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement.
But, I'm going to go most underrated, Matt Tremont. Because in a world where everybody is getting their story told at least once on television, Matt Tremont, it still escaped him. And
he's putting out his story on his own terms, though.
And I think that's bullshit, though. I would love for the world to know Matt Tremont, but
and I'm 125% with you.
So I'm going to steal yours because to you, Brian, Matt Tremont isn't underrated. But I think so. That's why I'll go there.
The eyes of the man, I would say he is underrated to other. Like he should be more regarded.
Yeah.
He sh-
Honorable
he-
mention also, because they're fresh on my mind, SAT, because they just got their gimmick stolen, SAP. And, you think of 20 years of just being low-key, like, decent human beings to other wrestlers. Yeah, and Tremont's run this year is sick as well.
I think that another highly underrated wrestler is Akira.
Ooh.
I think Akira deserves to have some gold.
Maybe a little overrated. Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
I don't even know any rookies off the top of my head.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, Low Life Louis Jr. Boom. Lock it up. That's my rookie of the year. That's my guy. What'd you say? Mittens?
Mittens is my rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
Where does Casey Catal fall in all of this for you as far as year end? She's not a rookie, obviously, but maybe like underrated or most improved.
I'm a little tight that I didn't say that she was my women's wrestler of the year now.
She's definitely my most improved wrestler of the year, because she's improved a lot in the sense of deathmatch wrestling and also storytelling. And that tells a lot. If deathmatch wrestling is deathmatch wrestling, but if you can carry a story and deliver deathmatch wrestling too, kudos to you. So she's definitely up there with the most improved. And look at her. She was the freaking American Deathmatch champion.
Rookie of the year. Sorry for the sidebar, but I think she deserved a little sidebar there, because I know you guys are great wrestling fans. So I know that you're really.
I think another good rookie. I know we don't watch the show so much, but I think Braun Breaker is another talent that is like really good that deserves a mention. I think he's dope. I think Braun Breaker is dope. I think Braun Breaker will eventually be on the main roster.
Oh, yeah.
Rumble.
Killing it. Doing his stuff. All right, whatever. I don't really care that much. Sean, do you have a rookie of the year?
My rookie of the year is Timid Tamir.
Oh, so good, dude. Man, well, I already did Low Life Louis Jr., so. ASF, Sean said it for High Flyer of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Best commentator.
Ringside Sean, baby.
Very well done. Brian?
Patrick.
Yes.
Kenny.
You know what? I got my vote is Patrick Kenny too. So that's 2 votes.
Honorable mention Larry Legend.
Larry's Larry is the Zeus of ring announcing.
Worst television announcer of the year. I'm gonna have to go with PK Blvd Bullies probably. That one BCW show I just got wasted. I didn't even commentate.
You know who I actually really hate?
Oh, Pat McAfee. It's got to be Pat McAfee. Hell yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess as a commentator is not a ring announcer. Ring announcer is different than commentator.
Yes.
Right.
Well, no. Go ahead. Just speak on your non-wrestling wrestlers.
I was gonna say as far as ring announcing goes, like in Larry Legend's world, I hate Chad Spectacular. I think
who is that?
Who's that?
It's Larry Legend's. He usually does like H2O. I see him a lot.
Oh, the kid from last night.
Yes, he did last night. He's Larry's protege.
Huh.
Is he?
And I just don't like the way he speaks.
Okay.
He just like kind of yells. He kind of just like yells.
Well, you know what? This was my rookie announcing year, so maybe I could be your favorite. Just
maybe
saying.
you gotta make me. You gotta make it happen.
What is your favorite wrestling maneuver of the year?
Ooh. I think everybody did the spear this year. Everybody was just spearing everyone. I don't know. What is your
my favorite? My favorite.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Might be the match with Alex Colon and Murdoch where was it called the glass ceiling, or it was where they had the glass in the sky and they did it was like a neck breaker off the fucking top through the glass.
What about Matt Justice getting on top of the actual scaffolding and jumping off to reckless abandon?
What was that? Was that
War
Zona?
Games?
Oh, that was War Games.
War Games.
All right, whatever. Who cares?
No, you know what?
What?
The Montos cutter on the chairs.
Nice. Larry says pile driver, drop toe hold. Hey, how about Billy Stark's murder on the apron?
Yeah, to Becca with the three C's.
Yeah. What's the most disgusting promotional tactic of the year?
I don't know. Free food with your ticket?
Disgusting.
For
everybody,
It had to be the CM Punk ice cream bars.
That was like 2 years ago.
Was it?
All right. Well,
yeah, that was the first dance.
I'm trying to think about how about anything involving -1?
Shout out to him, dude. His dad's anniversary was yesterday. He's a growing boy.
I don't think it's a promotional tactic as much as it is giving a young boy some kind of like love and like.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
Giving him
Great.
magic.
I guess I'm a bad person then. Great. Okay, cool.
It's a good way for him to feel connected to his dad.
Okay, how about this? How about Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO and still remaining 80% shareholder of the company?
He is the man.
All right, who cares about that?
We do.
What's the worst? Okay, did we do match of the year?
We did.
Yes.
Okay, well then what's the worst match of the year?
The worst match of the year.
And you know what? Let's expand that to like, you could do like a worst segment of the year as well.
Worst match of the year. -1
versus Mitten's dream match.
Wow. Who said that? I don't know. What was your worst match of the year, Pat? Maybe one of you guys say something and it'll ignite my...
To me, it was by far Marina Shafir wearing like the farmer's hat, screaming, "You don't know me. You don't know me, but I know you. And I know that you know that I don't know that you know that I don't know me."
Like,
you think you know me. You think you know me.
Edge cutting his hair.
The new Edge haircut.
The new Edge haircut.
Massive flop.
Can't think. Bad match. Not sure.
Bad interview. Interview you hated.
Should have thought about this before the show.
Worst death match of the year, Brian.
The worst. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The no rope barbed wire match with Tremont yesterday wasn't like the best match in the world.
He's going what's fresh in his head, and I love that. Worst match of the year.
It's not the worst match of the year, but it's definitely it's like it was an underwhelming final no rope barbed wire. For
You
Tremont.
think you know me, and I know you, but you don't know me.
Yes, Mox falling off the stage is pretty funny. That was hilarious.
Let's go into that botch of the year. What else was there? What about the top dollar dive the other week?
Top dollars dive of the year.
There were so many better, more amazing botches all year, but I can't remember anything that happened more than a week ago.
It was Father Tremont. The Father Tremont entrance was pretty sick, but the match itself.
Oh, he came out last night as Father Tree?
Yeah,
with the white jacket. Yeah.
Crazy guy. Probably trying to sell the gear. That's why he came out.
That's what they do. Respectable.
All right, I think I'm done with those.
Yeah, I think.
Whoa! We didn't get to the most important.
No, I know. We have now the Blvd Bullies Special Awards.
Right.
Okay, so these are multiple choice. Give me the biggest news story of the year. Was it Vince McMahon stepping down? Cody switching companies? Logan Paul exploding on the scene? Was it the media scrum fight? Stone Cold coming back? Ric Flair's final match? Sasha Banks and Naomi leaving WWE? Or Big E breaking his neck?
Ooh, I'm going to say Cody Rhodes stepping down from his executive position in AEW, stepping away from his in-ring contract from AEW, and stepping back into the light in the WWE.
It's a tie for me. It's Big E breaking his neck was really insane and shocking. and also Vince McMahon stepping away
For
from
me,
WWE.
it's got to be Vince. For me, just
Vince
because the
going away was
implications.
mind blowing.
Yeah,
But he's not gone. He's gone from TV.
Just that it happened where he made a statement where he is leaving WWE. Those words left his mouth that
he
he's
finally
stepping
got
away.
caught for all of this
It
weird
was-
spa behavior, all this stuff. When you looked into his eyes between the years of 1997 and 2007, 2017 maybe even, you could see all of his sexual misconduct right through his eyes.
Yeah, they were showing a tribute to the troops, the very first one, and he was in the middle of two women, and they were taking a photo. He goes, "Which one of you just squeezed my tuchus?" Like, yo, this guy's always been like that. Nothing new.
All right, how about this?
It's
I
really
like this one. Triple H came back this year because Vince McMahon fucking bailed, right? So out of all the people, I'm going to read you the names of the people that Triple H has brought back since assuming power. And I want to hear the best Triple H re-signing of 2022. You got Dakota Kai, Cross and Scarlett, Johnny Gargano, Hit Row, Braun Strowman, Dexter Lumis, Candice LeRae, Bray Wyatt, Emma, The Good Bros, Sarah Logan, Mia Yim, Bronson Reed, Tegan Knox.
Good brothers. And I'm going to say that because Carl Anderson at the time, is still contracted with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And not only is he contracted with New Japan, but he also holds a title with the company. And he has had to go back and defend it. And he is going back to defend it next week at New Japan's biggest event of the year, Wrestle Kingdom. So to grab somebody who's already in a contract and bring them back to where you want them to, that's pretty big. Everybody else was they were left out to sea, and they were just floating. But the Good Brothers made name for themselves. They were doing things. They were working Impact shows. They were working AEW. You know what I'm saying? So they had stuff going on. But who brought them back?
Brian,
Good old Triple H.
Brian, you're getting called out in the chat saying that you're a bad person for picking the Big E neck breaking.
I'm a bad person for thinking Big E breaking his neck was shocking.
You know,
Bad
let
take, Brian.
me say this before
Well,
you do.
who
I
said
think
that, Dr. Toboggan. Well, I'm gonna go and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Bray Wyatt.
Oh shoot.
Triple H's best acquisition, reacquisition.
I was gonna look at it just from a strictly who's gonna make them the most money, who's got the most steam, and I'm gonna have to agree Bray Wyatt as well.
Facts.
All right, now it's time for the final two awards.
Let's do it.
Awards that Brian has created. This is the Brian Ginsberg collection here. Da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. So, Brian, you have two awards. Were they?
Two.
Okay. Can you, without further ado, go right ahead, Brian. The floor is yours.
Well, I think that you already did one of them, and you switched because mine was originally the Vince McMahon Inappropriate Behavior of the Year award, but you changed it to the Mandy Rose Inappropriate Behavior of the Year award.
Okay. Okay. So I fucked it up.
You botched it.
So
You fucked up.
So should it be the Vince McMahon Inappropriate Behavior?
The whole thing. It was supposed to be that it was the Vince McMahon award, and Mandy Rose won it.
How about the Inappropriate Sports Entertainer of the Year? Goes to
Mandy Rose.
I'm gonna go Matt Riddle.
I'm gonna go CM Punk.
Wow. Good call. Good call.
I'm gonna go CM Punk. If you want to be honest about it, he pulled the curtain back at a press conference where everybody's watching and everybody wants to hear what he's gonna say, right? Because he's a champ, and he pulled back a curtain that everybody speaks about. But it's like, you know what? As the entertainer, do you pull it back? Do you give them that much view? Do you give them that much knowledge without giving them that much
he's
knowledge?
my hero. He's my hero. My hero of the day. 2022, Patrick Hero of the Day award goes to CM Punk. All right. Anyway, Brian, and your second and final,
the most important
award of 2022? Go ahead, Brian.
It's going to be wrestling's Jew of the Year.
Goldberg.
And dude,
It's the Jew of the Year. Brian Ginsburg Award Collection. It's the Jew of the Year.
Oy vey.
Bum bitty 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 bum. Bum bitty 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 bum.
What are you doing?
You never seen 8 Crazy Nights, dude?
Yeah, I have.
That's the Jewish dance.
So go ahead. Who's your
My Jew of the Year is obviously Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Wow.
Feinstein?
MJF. He's the Jew of the Year.
Honorable mention Paul Heyman, and now good luck to both of you to figure out 2 other Jews that exist.
I'm trying to stay along the lines.
Larry said Rosenberg.
Peter Rosenberg. Peter Rosenberg.
Or Sam Roberts.
Is Sam Roberts Jewish?
I think you're just being you're just thinking he looks Jewish.
Samuel Roberts. Not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. I guess it's got to be MJF, eh?
100%.
Maybe next year you know what we gotta do? Next year we gotta find out who is Jewish. So that we'll do like a secret Jew of the Year.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'm still waiting on that book. Getting that book.
Brian, update us on the Holocaust book.
I received a letter from my great aunt.
Not a phone call or an email.
Oh, it's a handwritten letter from my 90-year-old great aunt.
About what? How did this come about?
Well, it's because I contacted my father about the book that my cousin wrote.
So you texted after last week's show or 2 weeks ago, you texted your dad and said, Dad, I got into a lot of trouble on the show. I have to prove that I am Jewish, and I need to get in touch with...
I kept it way more short than that.
Oh, okay. I wish you would have explained it in that way.
But I don't think he would have even understood what I was talking about. But
the mensch of the sench.
The mensch of the sench, dude. Who said that?
Larry said Jew of the sench.
The mensch of the sench is good.
Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry. Keep going with the story. This is so harrowing for me. This
is my cousin was actually survived 3 death camps in the Holocaust, and then went on to be in the Israeli CIA.
No shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like fucking crazy.
And this cousin wrote a book?
He has a book, and I'm going to get it in the mail.
So what did this letter say? Did you read it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and she sent me a letter, and then also sent me a letter from he died in 2016, and she wrote him a letter on to his deathbed. And
wow,
so it's like a whole bunch of interesting shit.
Sean, do you want to hear this letter that Brian's 90-year-old?
Don't make me read it right now.
I think maybe we should make that a special.
Yeah, that's gonna be our Judaism special.
I think we should make it a special.
Okay.
Brian, letters with bad take.
It's going to take me at least 30 minutes to read the letter.
Letters with bad take. By the way, if you guys want to send a handwritten letter to Begins, just, write it, scan it.
I'll be your pen pal.
Yeah, you got to scan it.
We should make the Blvd Bullies pen pal club a thing.
Handwriting only. And then we could all write like 90-year-old ladies. All the 90-year-old ladies have the same handwriting.
It's true. Perfect cursive.
Oh, anything else going on? Did you guys get
Sean's going to an event.
I will be at the Showboat this Friday until Sunday, New Year's Day. There is wrestling's happening. There's GCW happening, but I also have some autograph signings that need to be done for PWJ cards. If you haven't, check out pwjcards.com.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
The way of the road.
It was his birthday the other day.
You're right. And you know what? He sent me a Facebook friend request. And, that kind of by accepting that, you kind of it's an unspoken rule that you're going to post on their Facebook, happy birthday. I didn't do it.
Oh, dude. You messed up. There goes your invite
I hate
party.
posting on people's Facebooks for their birthday because it tells you it's their fucking birthday.
Right, so it's like
who gives a shit?
you're the worst
You
person.
didn't care to know.
You're
You
the worst
just saw
person.
it was
Don't
my
even
birthday.
fucking wish me a
You know what you got to
fucking
do though?
birthday.
You got to see on Facebook that it's the person's birthday, then
then
text them. Right.
Right.
Hey, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday. PWG cards if you want some blood, if you want some cards. And I think some New Year's resolutions for the new year. I think I'm going to get a whole phone call system set up because we have a few people who've been bothering. Well, not bothering, but we've been talking about being guests. You know, we've been talking about wanting Larry on the show. I was specifically referring to Deathmatch Russell, who wants to be on the show. Shout out Deathmatch Russell. Also the Chop guy, Sean. The guy who gets chopped for charity.
Chopped at every charity, yep.
Chopped for charity. Toys for Tots and chops.
See, that's kind of a guy that we should have in the studio so we can actually chop him.
Well, Brian, if being at No Holds Barred 30 is on your list this coming year, I'm
sorry to cut you up, but that's my New Year's resolution is to attend at least one show a month.
So you will meet the Chop guy if you had No Holds Barred 30.
That's my goal, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll figure it out there.
So anyway, we want to do a weekly segment where where Larry calls in. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up like another screen here. And we're going to do like scene 2 for like now on the phone, this person. And we'll do like the file photo with like all the cigarettes in the mouth. You know?
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, so I think we're going to do that in the new year. Also, we're going to do January merch. January merch is on the horizon.
We should do a January revamp of the whole fucking shebang.
I think
that's what we're saying.
Everybody should be paying attention to BoulevardBullies.BigCartel.com because next week there's gonna be some cool stuff dropping. Brian and I are working up some magic, and it's gonna come around.
We're cooking in the kitchen with our wrists going a little whoop whoop whoop.
So you guys make sure you're following us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter.
What?
To make sure that you see those drops, because when they drop, you're gonna want them. I'm letting you know now.
And when they're dropped, they're gonna be dropped. Brian, also just quick shout out: Blvd Bullies bloody sock variants are also gonna be available.
Bloody sock.
We walk around the house a lot in our socks. You might see us in our shirts and ties, but underneath, where you cannot see, basketball shorts and little slippers. Little school bus slippers.
No. These are Deadpool's chimichanga mobiles, all right?
Those are fucking awesome, dude.
And we stub our toes and our socks get bloody. So bloody variant, bloody Blvd Bullies, bloody socks.
Let's get it, baby.
And that's really all I got to say about that. I just really want to, one more time. And by the way, I want to thank both of you for staying late. I think it was a great show.
Good show.
I think we needed to get our year-end awards out of the way.
Yep.
So there's a 3-hour show.
And at one more point, I just want to say the $300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royal. And you know who should have won that?
You say that so well.
The SAT. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a little hoarse.
Yo, you know what? It's been a
great
year.
Hours.
It's been a great year, and I want to thank both you guys for bringing me on this illustrious ride. And it's only smooth sailing and clear blue skies from here because the Blvd Bullies are taking over 2023.
I personally love rain, but it's going to be a good year. Happy New Year to all. To all, good night.
Hell yeah, Brian. Wait, hold on. Final thought. We got an emergency.
We have an emergency?
We have an emergency final thought. Guys, I want your take real quick. Bray Wyatt is Santa Claus, Brian. Give me a few thoughts.
I'll say this. I hate Santa Claus, and I don't think that people should teach their kids that Santa Claus exists.
Oh, Jesus.
But I think that people should believe in Bray Wyatt. That's my thought.
Wow, amazing.
I think Bray Wyatt is not Santa Claus. I think he leans more to the side of Krampus. If you're familiar with that, go look him up and you see.
Krampus badass, dude.
Krampus is not that badass. He's pretty badass to look at, but he's not that badass. So yeah, Bray Wyatt is not Santa Claus. He does not bring any gifts under my tree, so he can kick rocks.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much, Brian. Bad Take Bri, the merch guy, and Ringside Sean. Happy New Year. And
Happy New Year's, boys.
I just want to thank everybody else for stopping by. And have yourselves. Wait, hold on. I keep trying to mute you guys, but you keep saying wait. Go ahead.
I got you something really cool, and I can't wait to show you. Are
Oh,
you ready
wow.
to see?
I'm ready. Oh, wow.
Where the fuck's my gift, Sean?
Wow. Brian, you
I
can't be
have one.
happy for a guy?
I have one for you. Oh my God, it's just downstairs.
No, that's dope as fuck, though.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
dude.
Thank you, Sean. I love Simpsons gear.
I saw it and I was like, wow, Pat would love that. So there you go, buddy.
Thank you so much. All the love to you two. You will now be muted from here on out. Guys, thank you so much for watching Blvd Bullies. We're out of time. Bye-bye!
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard.